Welcome to the second episode of Power Beyond. I need to go to the right notes thing because I was in the wrong notes thing. There we go. Welcome to Power Beyonds. It's a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition live actual play here on Nat 20. I am your fresh-faced Dungeon Master, the Nation of Joe, and all around me here are the players for this adventure. Let's go around and have them introduce themselves and their characters. And I also asked them to share what was the last thing they thought of when Wranran tripped. And we'll get to that in a minute.
Well, hi, I'm Razum. I play Kaine, the high elf rogue that's probably overly grumpy than I intended, but I'm going with it. It's there, it's happening. And as soon as he tripped and made that loud noises, the first thing that came to Kaine's mind is, you got to be kidding me.
I'm Sam. I play Trij, the satyr cleric, trickery cleric. And yeah, Trij just sort of paused, put down his head and went, shit.
I'm CJ. I'm playing the wood elf rogue named Wranran. I am the one that tripped. And what went through my head was, oh fuck.
Hi, I'm Osarix Franco. I play Nyapith Fenrixis, or Fenxirus. There we go. Dragonborn names are hard. And I'm Dragonborn fighter. And I think what went through Nyapith's head was, who dropped a tent?
Who dropped a tent?
Probably what it sounded like. Fabric, some you know.
Yeah, I guess.
It was either that or a bag of caltrips, but like, I don't know who would have just a bag of caltrips in their bag. That seems weird.
Yes. Well, yes, yeah. Someone did trip, but we'll get to that first. Before all of that, our adventurers were introduced to Gundren Rockseeker, one of a trio of Dwarven brothers. He tasks this new team with protecting a carriage of supplies from Neverwinter to the small frontier town of Phandelver. Leaving prior to the team, it was soon discovered that he and his friend were ambushed. Taking one of the goblins from the trail hostage? Question mark?
Now, time out. He's been employed and is a valuable member of the team.
He's right now he's on a trial basis.
An internship of sorts.
Yes. So Vorp is with the team right now. But they all made their way to Cragmaw Cave. Got past a few guards and two sentinel-like human-shaped figures, but no one really knows what they are, what they do. Sneaking their way into the cave, they successfully moved past a group of sleeping wolves and further into the hideout with nary a peep, until an unfortunate roll/spill from Wranran, which alerts a guard on the bridge above them. The goblin there and waiting for something to happen, hears this noise, comes out to the bridge and says, "What's that? Intruders?" And that's where we're picking up today. The first thing everyone is going to do is roll initiative, please.
That is a 10.
That is a 12.
That is a 7.
I lost track of what I'm doing.
You got a 6.
There it goes. Yep, that sounds accurate.
7. All right, 12 is Trij. 10 is Nyapith. 7 is Wranran, and 6 is Kaine. And I'll give this one to you. The goblin that comes out onto the bridge and is alerted to your presence is surprised and startled, and it's been a pretty easy day at work so far. This is something he wasn't expecting, nor necessarily even wanted for the day. He's kind of taken aback. So, Trij, you're up first. What would you like to do?
As Trij is still disguised as a goblin himself, he's just gonna say, "No, man, it's not intruders. It's us. We're taking this, and she made some noise because we were taking her to the place."
I'm just really big and clumsy, and oops, I dropped a tent. It rolled out of the cave. I don't know where it went. I will be needing it though, because I'm going to be dead soon.
Yeah, she just tripped over herself, and we're just trying to get her to the place where we take people to.
All right. Trij, roll a deception check for me.
Yep. I really am like trying to actively be terrible at it. Like, so that's a 13.
Okay. Next up is Nyapith, kind of overlapping with that. You're talking about a tent. What else are you doing, Nyapith?
Oh, I'm just really leaning into this very well thought out plan that this totally a goblin has, because I think that might be, if we can be very convincing of this truth, that our two hopes and dreams can maybe just hide away, because I'm going to die soon. Nyapith is just buying into the plan. She's going to be, big clumsy. Look at this. Look at these feet. And she's gonna hold up her two like unshoed dragonborn feet. I'd lose them if they weren't connected to my body, but I don't know how because they're massive.
Yep, it was totally just her. There's no other goblins or anything.
Literally no other explanation. What you heard.
Yeah, it's just us. We didn't see anybody when we came in.
All right. Nyapith, roll me a deception check.
It's a 16.
16. All right. Next up in the order is actually, wait a minute, because you're right. Well, I'm gonna do a little something with that because I forgot about that. But no, actually, that's what I'm gonna do. Sorry. Yeah. Next up in the order is Wranran. Wranran, you are. I'm not gonna give you like the like condition prone. I would say that you like tripped enough and you like did the whole thing, but you were able to just like kind of jump up right away in the time it took for this goblin to come out on the bridge. That you had stood up and it was one of those things where like you made a bunch of noise and everyone's like, and then the goblin came out. So you're not prone or anything like that. You're standing around there under the bridge there. What are you gonna do?
So I'm currently under the bridge.
Yes, I mean you technically everybody's below the bridge. The goblin is on the bridge, and the bridge is about 20 feet high. So it's a little higher up there, but you can still go under it. You can still like see sort of above it. It's not like a fancy bridge with like giant railings and different things like that. It's just kind of a wooden stairs and plank that are going over connecting two paths. So yeah, you can see around it, you can move around it, but you are below it.
Okay. So while the goblin is distracted by Trij and Nyapith, impressively deceiving them, I'm going to try to hide in the shadows under the bridge to make sure I'm out of that goblin's vision.
Okay. Make me a stealth check.
No whammy. 20.
All right. Wranran kind of tiptoes into the shadows of the bridge, sneaking his way carefully under. Next up in the order is Kaine.
I would like save it for later, but I feel like it's a really good opportunity to try using it. Can I try using one of my darts?
You can try.
Well, let's just see if I hit first, right?
Yeah, so if you're going for that tactic, let me and so you've got that. Yeah, so you should. That's good amount of range and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're going that route, you'd have to make that attack roll first.
9 dice. 17.
17 is gonna hit. Roll. Do me 2 rolls. Roll the damage for that.
Okay. Four.
Okay. And let me ask you this. Were you being sneaky about the attack, or were you just full on just going for it like
Yeah, like I don't think there's really enough time. It was like things just happened. I
okay.
made a
All right.
tactical choice.
All right then. Give me 1 second here. I need to check this.
Yeah, I should have asked about this one before.
All right.
I'll be honest, I expected nothing less from you after last time.
Fight.
This
fight,
one isn't.
fight,
This
fight.
one isn't.
This one makes sense though.
This is no.
This
is
one
really
makes
great,
sense
though.
It's really good.
But let me.
It's coming right for us.
Sorry,
Yeah, no.
I need to look this up
Yeah.
because I should have expected
Hey,
this too.
I straight forgot to ask about it until right this exact moment.
You know what? I honestly, it was so hard to like really like even prepare because I had no idea exactly how this was like gonna happen. It could have
I didn't
gone
want to
down
use
in
it so early,
so
but
many ways.
it's just, you know, when the moment's right, you know?
Yeah, so that's what I'll do. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not. This time it wasn't so good.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Let's go.
No, I'm gonna be benevolent. Let me be benevolent here. Let me.
I mean, if you insist,
Sure, yeah.
I wanted to test it, and I think I figured that out. So let me explain.
Please explain.
For all of you, all the players, and all of you at home watching. So I can consider that to be, even though that you just like went out and went for it, right? The sudden barrage of noise and all of you just trying to like make these excuses for things and all that kind of stuff, and the fact that these deception checks were pretty good and like you were being pretty convincing on everything, and the fact that Wranran was successfully able to quietly move out and not draw any more attention over in that direction, this goblin on the bridge really kind of let their guard down a little bit and was like going, okay. And so this attack, I would consider it to be a surprise attack from Kaine. Maybe not from the party, but definitely from the goblin's perspective. And correct me if I'm wrong, Kaine, but you were using one of those darts, correct?
Yes.
You see this goblin like take a hit to the shoulder, and I can imagine all of your faces are just like, and you see this goblin go, and it just collapses fast asleep. As Kaine, your sleeping dart successfully hit and knocked
Food.
that goblin out. Hey, there's a thing for that. Are there any? There's no just like Z's. There should just be Z's.
It's 99. Looks lazy.
99. This one looks like sleep. Oh, it is sleepy. That's the sleepy one. Sleepy? Is he sleepy on? Nah. Okay, he's sleepy now. I moved him a little bit, but I didn't want to actually move him off the bridge. He didn't fall off the bridge, but he is up there successfully sleeping. The next person's turn was going to be Vorp, who kind of looks around and was like, oh man, that was pretty good. Wow, I'm impressed, actually. That was well coordinated.
Yeah,
you guys must be a really good team to pull that off.
Yeah, and you should be really proud to be a part of the team. You should.
I'm part of the team.
Absolutely.
I
mean, if you want to be.
I mean, let's not spread any rumors just yet. But let's.
But here's the thing, though. Vorp. You've seen what these guys do to people who like mess with us, so don't.
Fair. That is a fair point. And after this whole display, I'm thinking I may be convinced to maybe but again, don't spread any rumors yet, cuz you know, I got a reputation to uphold here. But anyway, I guess we can keep moving and whichever way you want to keep moving.
Might I suggest? Oh yes.
Do
Kaine.
something about Tim, though.
What do you mean?
Well,
him
you know,
take a,
like
take a little nap?
tie him up, or
Is
it's up
there
to
a
you.
way?
You guys want to take extreme measures to
Yeah.
make it an eternal nap? That's not my
Oh,
choice right now, but
I
you
don't
know.
think that's necessary.
But I
Is there a
mean,
way
we
for us
got-
to get up to the bridge, or is it like just kind of running over us?
It's running over you. You can clearly see that, like, yeah, it really is just kind of laying between
a
these
look-
two paths.
Okay.
Between, yeah, two different sides. There's some support beams like coming down. It's not
How high up is it?
the bridge is about 20 feet up. It's a decent height up, I would say, but you could potentially climb it. It just would take some skills.
Yeah, right. So listen, it's high up there, Kane. I can help give you a boost, maybe, but I'm concerned if I try to climb up there, it's gonna be real loud, and you know, clearly us just falling down made enough noise. I don't know if
Yeah.
I almost wonder how long does that Dadios take effect last? How much time you got?
It's a really good question.
Maybe he was really tired. Maybe he's missing out on some Z's, and he'll just take that as an opportunity.
Well, but also he's pretty small, so it probably lasts
Possible. It
longer
could last a little
because he's
longer,
pretty
yeah.
small.
They
Yeah.
generally don't last too long, but Vorp, how can we get to that bridge without having to climb up?
You can probably find those paths where the bridge connects, like that path over there and that path over there, like wherever that goes.
Wranran, can you just check out over here to our left? Could you maybe just sneak in there real quick and take a gander? And maybe Kane, you could look up the other way?
Well, I'm closer to the one right next to us. He's
Either
already on
or.
that side.
Or. I
think
don't
I
have
checked
a
out that
preference.
area, but I'll double check it again just in case.
I think we were going to check it out, and that's where the failed check came in.
Oh yeah.
No, actually, no. So
No. Mine was fine, right?
Yeah. So yours was all good. So this kind of stuff is kind of all there already. You can kind of see down the tunnel, and Wranran gets a little bit more of the view up here, and where that is, this, you know, it kind of climbs up a little bit, up and up and up, but there's just more like water trickling down, and kind of the tunnel kind of curves up there to more area wherever that leads to. Over here, where you guys are close to, there's like a lot of like rubble just kind of hanging out there, and then this is kind of like a little embankment. It's kind of steep, but a little bit easier than you could with like going to the bridge. You could climb up there and maybe sneak through a little bit. You could see some light coming through like a little hole up there. And so it is possible that you could kind of maybe maneuver your way up there, and yeah, climb up and over. It looks like you can do that.
I say let's just keep moving forward. The longer we take standing here and deciding what to do, the more likely the chance he's going to wake up. If we're following the right path, then we should come across him. Also, I don't know if we really want Wranran going under that bridge again.
All right, let's keep going. Vorp, where were you taking us? Like, what direction were we going in to begin with?
I mean, we're just going in. I told you, I was here like maybe once. We had like an orientation, and like I didn't really remember too well because you know, I was going to be posted up by the path there, so I didn't really need to pay attention to what was going on over here. I'm more of an outside person, not an inside. So you know, this is this isn't my wheelhouse here.
For the great outdoors, I understand.
Oh yeah. I gotta gotta get my vitamin D in, like.
You gotta
Well.
you got to remember things better if you gotta stick around.
Oh,
Or just stay living.
Oh,
One of
well,
the-
that's
Don't be mean to him, man.
I mean,
He's brand new to our group. We're trying to be positive.
it's nothing solid yet. He's proved himself, which he's doing a good job.
Don't
All right,
worry,
get me wrong.
I already have
And
assessed the risk from all of you. You are doing a great job of
And,
that.
you know, I gave you extra points for understanding how bad of a plan that was, even though it's working somehow. So let's move on. I'm gonna say a little bit behind you guys. So in case we come across more goblins, you guys can do your little play again without
Yup.
without worries.
right.
Great.
Okay, so did I hear correctly that you're moving in the direction of where Wranran is? You're moving that direction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Wranran, are you still like kind of hanging out, and then you'll take up the lead once everybody catches up?
Yeah, I'll still take up the lead.
All right, and then Trij and
I was gonna say, yeah, I don't even know how to catch up from where I am because I can't see anything.
Yeah, the views with the dynamic lighting, the views are a little bit swampus.
Is it?
But
Yeah, it's. Hold on, let me take a picture for you, and so I can show you what I'm seeing.
But Nyapith would stick
Yeah.
with Vorp and Trij just to keep up the appearances of captive with these two goblins.
Yeah, I feel like that's because y'all don't have. I didn't give you guys dark vision because y'all don't have dark vision, but
Yeah, no, 100%.
but it should still
Yeah.
be. It should still be lit.
It's
I'm
lit,
just
it
seeing
just-
like a little pocket,
Mhm.
and then nothing beyond that. I'm seeing
Yeah.
like back from where we
Mhm.
came,
Sure, yeah,
but
that should be on there.
I literally can't see anything past Vorp.
Okay.
Yeah, if I move my token, there's just a harsh line of black that doesn't go away.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do.
But I'm happy to use my imagination.
So they will have 60. Let me just give you guys 30.
Oh.
So you have a little bit more, right?
Weird. I'm just wondering what was blocking my like center area. Huh.
You know what? Yeah, it's some of it's probably some of the dynamic lighting things. I'm also gonna give you.
There we go.
So I gave you guys
now-
30. I gave you guys like
Yes.
30 feet because you should still
Yes.
be able to see a little bit in here.
Perfect. That's so much
Great.
better.
And then the other
Yeah.
guys have like official dark vision. Because yeah, it's not well lit, but it's lit enough. It's like
Yeah, that's perfection.
should be able to
Yeah.
see all that stuff. So, and then Kaine, you are bringing up the rear. You said,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. So we're gonna go a little bit one at a time. I'm gonna move you guys. And let's bring Wranran up here. And everybody's gonna move up. Right, hold on, I forgot I can do Alt. And even though it's like on the bridge, you're technically kind of underneath the bridge. You're not like crawling on top of the sleeping goblin. And I think at this point, Wranran, you're the only one that can see this. So
Probably correct.
I am going to assume that you stop before you move any further.
Yes.
Would you like to communicate with everyone else what you see?
Yes. So by the staircase, there's a room to the right, and there are at least 2 goblins there, right around this corner.
All right. We can try to keep this show on the road there, Trij, and we can maybe distract him while
Yeah.
you guys move farther in, just so
Yeah,
we
do
can
you
take a gander.
You
What do you
want
think?
Vorp and I to go first? We can keep the ruse going.
Yeah, I think I can be there for some support, just to make sure that you make it out all right. You know, Kaine and Wranran can keep a lookout behind us, or perhaps, because I'm just concerned if we pass up too many rooms, and without going in and taking a closer look, that we'll miss out on finding our missing map and our missing person. So, what do you think?
Yeah, sounds about the plan.
I agree with that.
Great.
All right, Trij, I'm right behind you.
Okie doke. So are you moving us again, or?
Yeah, I'll move you guys in because it's gonna get a little tight right there. But so who's first? Is it, or I guess is it still gonna be like the prisoner party of
Yes.
Vorp, Nyapith, Trij, and then as backup, Wranran's gonna hang back with Kaine as backup. Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So, yeah, Vorp is going to move along here. The prisoner is going to be moved up. And the costumed Trij as a goblin will be there. I'll move Kaine up
And
there.
quick question:
Mhm.
How long have we been in here?
Not very long, because you guys pretty much started and walked right in. I know it, in real lifetime, it seems like forever. Weeks maybe have gone by, but I would say you've been in there for definitely less than like 10, 20 minutes, like not very long. Maybe even less than that.
So I'm not running the risk at this point of losing my glamour.
It's an hour, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're nowhere near that hour yet.
Perfect. Great.
Your costume clock is still ticking.
I'm gonna keep checking in on that one.
Yeah, no, like I said, you guys have had these quick little discussions. They've taken, a few minutes each. Yeah, realistically, you're maybe reaching like the quarter mark of like 15 minutes.
Perfect. Okay.
So you guys are coming around the corner, and there's a couple goblins there. Goblins are kind of hanging out. One's kind of like flipping a coin and just kind of, looking at his really long claw nail things and just kind of like whatever, hanging out. The other one is like staring up at the ceiling and just kind of like,
Hey, fellow friends. So we've got a prisoner here that Clark asked us to get for him. But we only really stay outside, so we don't know the cave too good. Do you know how to get to the place where we're supposed to take the prisoners?
the one is just kind of like gonna stop flipping the coin. He's gonna look over and just kind of, he's gonna look over at Vorp and just be like, "Oh yeah, you're the new guy." Who is it? It's the big one, the
Yeah,
scaly thing.
yeah, she's so big, and we
okay.
beat her. We beat her.
Wow,
Yeah,
congratulations.
they were really.
I'm
all right.
impressed.
She could beat you up.
I don't think I could. I think he's very strong.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
we
Well,
wouldn't
you know.
we wouldn't be on this post if we couldn't.
I believe that. This seems like a pretty important spot. You know, look out for maybe some what's this gig? You bodyguarding? Are you treasure guarding? What are you guarding?
What? Where? They're gonna kind of look at each other and be like, "What? What are you talking about? Like, garden? No, what? We're in the middle of a cave. There's no garden here. Look.
Oh no, sorry.
What? You know what? You know what?
Sorry.
You know what? Just
The dialect sometimes is confusing for folks. I forget.
we gotta watch out for intruders. So just go down that way.
Back the way we came.
No, go the other way. Go across the bridge.
Oh.
I mean,
but how do we get to the bridge though? Like I said, they just put me outside, and so I don't know the cave too good.
You mean over here? And Nyapith is gonna point GM.
Yeah, you just.
Oh.
It's not a big place. There's literally like.
Yeah.
2 paths.
All right.
You just go down that way. You take them down over there.
Right. Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure being a prisoner here so far. I'm really enjoying my time. Everyone's very, very nice.
All right. Let's go, lady.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'll go. I mean, the horror. This is terrific. I'm seeing my life flash before my eyes. It's just so terrifying. Nyapith is willing to be led down that corridor.
All right, so the 3 of you are gonna start heading down that way. I need to look something up real quick. Because I need to do a better job at some naming of things, but there it is. Okie doke. So you 3 are going to start walking down that way. Wranran and Kaine, you kind of heard this interaction. What are you guys going to do?
I have to wait to see what Ivan does because I can't see what's going on.
Both of you would have been able to hear like this the interaction of just like they're moving along, they're taking the prisoner down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I can't see what's in there. I can't see what's in there. So you got to come up with a plan this time.
Gotcha. All right. Well, so they literally just took the path to get to the bridge. There's no way we'll be able to take that same path without starting a fight.
They're going to the bridge?
Yeah. Yeah, those goblins literally just pointed where the bridge is.
Question, DM.
Mm-hmm.
So from the bridge, would we be able to see those goblins? The other 2?
No, like it kind of gets dark enough and the path kind of moves off enough that there's a buffer between those 2 areas. And we kind of started on the whole role play thing there, which is great. Don't let me stop you, but I'm going to give you a little bit of extra information here because it is just part of what you would have seen in this area. In that part of the cavern, it's like half filled with 2 large pools of water. There's a narrow waterfall that was high in the eastern wall that feeds into the pool and drains out the western end of the chamber that forms the stream that flows out of the cave. So this is sort of the at least mid source. The waterfall, obviously the water is coming from somewhere where the waterfall is coming, but this waterfall and these pools and how it all cascades down, that's where this all starts. There are kind of low fieldstone walls that are serving as dams that are holding that water in. You saw towards the south that there was sort of a wider exit or wider entrance, depending on which way you're going. There is an opening down there with more stairs leading to a different area. And then obviously the area now that you are walking towards. So,
All right, I got an idea. Follow me back down to the bridge. We gotta try to meet them, so we gotta hurry a little bit.
Gotcha.
All right, so we're gonna say that y'all are on the bridge, and Kaine and Wranran, you're kind of moving back this way a little bit here.
Can they see us at all, or?
Oh yeah, they're high up. They're exactly where the goblin is, that sleeping goblin who is still snoozing hard.
Trij,
Yeah,
be
the
careful
goblin-
not to bump him. We don't know if he's a light sleeper or not.
The goblin almost saw someone who fell. Not naming names, but someone did. Someone fell.
Oh.
So, you got.
I got you, Kaine. Nyapith's going to quickly pull from her pack her 50 feet of rope and drop it down off of the side of the bridge and act as an anchor with her weight to help these guys climb up.
To make this awkward, because in my head, how I imagine this going was I was pulling rope out of my bag while we were going, and I used the mage hand to actually float the rope up.
Oh.
So it'd be like the ropes are passing while they're both going.
Right. Yeah. Unnecessary, I guess. Trij, should you just hold on to that and she'll coil up hers as Trij can grab the other end, shoot, then kind of do a swap.
I'm definitely gonna need your help though.
Oh no, I got it. I don't worry, sweetheart. I got this one.
Okay,
this
thanks.
And then if you keep an eye on, actually, if you could maybe try tying up our little sleepy friend here.
Yeah, totally. And then Trij takes out his 50
a lot of
rope.
tying up here.
And-
Yeah, he gave us a lot of rope.
You all have rope. You guys give
We all
yourselves
have
a rope.
rope.
Nothing like a
That's
good
okay.
adventurer's
You've
pack
got a
with
rope. You've got a rope. Everybody has a rope.
So quick question to clarify: are you guys using one rope or two ropes to climb up?
One rope. So we were using Kaine's rope that he mage handed the end up to Nyapith. So I've got the end. I'll act as an anchor to hold it to help them kind of climb up.
Okay. Then if that's feeling all sturdy and everything, you know what? I'll even let you guys choose, because this is because I'm fun like that, I guess. I don't know. I'm feeling fun tonight. So Kaine and Wranran, as you start to climb up, I'll let you choose. Do me a acrobatics or athletics check.
I'm gonna go with acrobatics.
You go first, because I'm scared. And then I'm gonna roll
Four?
a
Ooh, 4.
20.
That was his roll to catch me as I fell.
Funny you should say that, actually. Yeah, you're climbing up, and you're used to some some rogue stuff as you're climbing up like that, and somehow or other, this one just gets a little slippery on you, and you slide down a little bit. But Wranran's able to kind of, catch you, make sure you keep yourself up or good and everything like that. You get your footing back and your arms and everything like that. Get a good grip on it. And yeah, both of you are able to climb on up onto the bridge. Y'all are going to be kind of on top of each other here, but that's okay because I'm moving you, so I can see you and do all that stuff. But now you guys are all kind of on top of the bridge here. What would you like to do next? Oh, but you also said that you were going to be tying up the sleepy goblin, right?
Correct. While they're doing that, I am tying him up with my rope that I have. But that means I don't have rope no more.
We got plenty of rope.
We all have rope.
We're set. We're good on rope. By the way, thanks guys for catching me and pulling me up.
As
Hey,
you,
No problem.
as you tighten up the last part of the rope, and I'm assuming you're just like leaving him laying down there, or are you propping him up? What are you doing with the body?
I'm gonna move him as little as possible so that I don't wake him up if I can or can't.
As you're tightening up the last of the restraints, he does start to kind of like shift and
Smack him with the back of my knife.
Buddy,
Do you-
it's fine. You just took a nap.
do you,
It's cool. I'm guarding this now. Don't worry about it.
Like just the extra little conk to help him sleep more.
Are you actually gonna smack him?
Is his mouth tied up at least properly, or is this like a bunny wrap? Like how did you do it?
I mean,
just his hands?
I'm imagining like arms and feet. Like you were able to like
this is like 50 foot of rope. I'd imagine like literally like a whole
like a
roll up kind of thing.
Almost.
like an almost hog tie.
yeah, almost
Like a hog
basically
tie.
mummified with hempen rope. Yeah.
I've done enough. I guess I won't
Okay.
try to deal with it. They seem to have it in hand, hopefully.
More. All right. So you guys are, I assuming, moving on towards further into that passageway.
Yes, because I am a prisoner and I need to be kept where the other prisoners are kept.
And I could still take the lead if you guys would like.
I think
Yeah, we want to
think-
stay behind.
Yeah, for this next part, because there might be more goblins. And if you could just keep an eye and make sure that none of those uppity ones try to sneak up on us, that would be great.
What we need you to do though is, if it's a one-way path, we need you to distract them so we can get past you guys, or either distract them so we can knock them unconscious and
Yeah,
do the thing.
understood, Kane. We will do our
Yeah.
best to make sure that we don't get split up.
Okay. But also, like, if you guys wanna just like handle them, like you did the first ones, that too.
Unless I have to, I'm not going.
Okay, cool. Then I'll be the best distractor I can be.
Okay, we can easily just knock them out. But you just need to be able to distract them so we
Yeah.
get close enough to do something like that, you know?
Great.
Yeah, the last time I tried to knock one of them.
do.
Yeah, the last time I tried to knock one of them out, their brains ended up on my mace. So I think
I mean,
that
Yeah.
we'll try
And
this
he was-
first.
yeah.
And he was knocked out.
He was. You know what, Wranran? He was knocked out. Thank you. You've seen the glass half full. I like that attitude. I like that.
As much as I enjoy this bonding thing, we gotta get moving.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving forward. Walking.
So are you still comfortable with Vorp in the lead?
Yes,
'Cause
we
it's
want
still-
Vorp. Yeah, Vorp. Vorp is the face they recognize. Vorp up front, Nyapith, and then Trij, kind of in this little trio.
Okay. So I'm going to move you up to about there.
Great.
Because I believe at that point is when you start seeing some things. Can't really get a good look yet, but what you can kind of make out is there seems to be like a cot on the floor towards like the inside as you're moving in, the inside right, like the north edge of the cave as it opens up. And it does seem to kind of open up more, not just forward and a little bit to the north, but to the south. You can notice like another sort of ledge that goes about 10 feet high. Since I can't exactly, I don't have it exactly on like your character things. Let me have Nyapith and Trij, as you're rolling up from this distance and everything, make me a perception check. That'll clue me into how much detail I can.
17.
Perception. That is a 13.
Perfect. It's still kind of hard to make out, but you can see that there is definitely at least 2 goblins in there. The one goblin, though, it's a little bit bigger and looks a little bit meaner than the other goblins than you've seen in this area. You can also just make out another figure that doesn't look goblinish at all. It's a little hard to make out, but yeah, you're pretty sure that it's just a dude. It's a human. Can't really tell what they're doing, but they're kind of like just sitting there. What are you guys doing?
Nyapith's not gonna as she kind of walks in with Vorp in front of her and picks up on these details. Oh, so it does look like I won't be the only prisoner, maybe, unless a human has decided to take it up with these seemingly stronger goblins. She's gonna kind of say that a little bit louder, so Wranran and Kaine can hear back there. I mean, I was so thoroughly defeated by the goblins that we saw before, but I was not expecting to see one of such elevated statures.
And yeah, Trij is gonna follow in behind. So I think the idea is that all of us are like in the room now, or at least so I think what I would like is for Nyapith to be like in the hallway and Vorp and myself to be on either side of her, but inside the room, so that her big body is blocking the hallway.
I see. So this is kind of we're gonna kind of pile up like this. So yeah, you guys are attempting to give cover.
Oh no.
You guys are attempting to give cover to whoops, whoa, all of my mouse just went crazy. You're gonna give cover to Kaine and Wranran, who are behind here.
Great.
I know this isn't, it's not called sleight of body. It's called sleight of hand. But I feel like that is the thing that I want everyone to roll on. Not everyone who is becoming like the human body blocker thing.
Copy.
Nyapith, roll at advantage.
Okay, because I'm very big.
Because you're a little bit bigger than everybody
Big
else.
girl. Oh, that is a 9. That is
That's an 8.
Oh no!
I'm not good at sleight of hand. Could it be athletics instead? I'm very big. I just like flex really hard. No, it's fine. It's fine. I like this.
Kaine and Wranran, make me stealth checks. Juice, thank you so much for the raid. Damn magic juice, thank you.
Alright. Stealth check.
All right, rogues, do your job. Yes.
18.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of rogue.
Not that kind of rogue.
You are today.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you are.
Thanks, Josh.
So everybody that's up front, I would say you're still a little nervous because this was kind of like that kind of, yeah, this seems like a good plan going into it. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, maybe not. So yeah, Nyapith, you're doing the whole like, you're looking, oh my gosh, look how big and cozy this room is. Oh, I'm going to be having such a good time as a prisoner.
I mean, a bad
here.
time. I'm a really bad, as a prisoner, they don't want me to have a good time, but it is nice.
Yeah, so you're just kind of, you're but maybe not like that because you're pretending that, but you're still just kind of like trying to do all that. And the, Vorp is catching on. It's like, oh, well, yeah, oh. And yeah, Trij, you're also like trying to block the whole thing. And
Oh man, look at all of this room. And oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have finally gotten to the place where all my friends are. All my friends.
It's almost as like they should line up and introduce themselves because we're so excited to meet them.
Because here's the thing, we brought this prisoner
Yes.
as a gift for all of you, and I know that you all want her to know who's beating her up.
Yes. I like this.
yes, all of the goblins in the cave line up and they start doing a rendition of Duloc is, but they're saying Cragmaw is the perfect place to be a prisoner.
I hear what you're saying, but GM, legitimately, I need to know the answer to this question.
Legitimately, no, that's...
Damn it.
Sorry, that's... sorry, yeah, you want Cragmaw world, this is Cragmaw land. We don't do that here, yeah.
Well, I just really any kind of line will do.
As a quick aside, yes, Kaine and Wranran, you are convinced that between some of the help, maybe not completely with the help of the blockage, but you are able to kind of creep into the shadows behind them. And I am still I'm gonna move you two up a little bit, but you are, I would say, are successfully like hidden back there, and can like kind of see and listen as to what's happening over here. As you walk in, obviously you can tell that there are a lot of goblins in here. Again, 2, 4, 6 of them, but one of them is a little bit beefier. Just a little bit taller, a little bit stronger. He's a little bit more of a
Wishy was a
baller.
baller.
Yeah,
There we go.
he's up there, and he's up on the ridge, actually in like a chair that has been kind of like whittled, etched out very coarsely into almost what looks like a throne. And as you walk in, you can clearly see that there is a human figure up there on his knees, very kind of tightly bound, hands behind his back, and he is looking rough. He is looking like the slightest breeze will just tip him over. Hey, remember how Vorp was before you patched him up a little bit?
Yeah.
That's how this human looks. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Copy.
Got it.
There is a little bonfire just giving off all the light, and there's some cooking. And it's kind of sounded like all of these goblins here this is like a lounge area, like the barracks, all that kind of stuff. They just kind of hang out here, and the rec room kind of a thing. There's the vending machine in the corner. And all of them do kind of look up and pay attention to everybody now. You have garnered their full attention. And the bigger one at the top is just, he's gonna be sitting in his little like wooden throne thing, his thing here, and he's gonna look at all of you.
How close am I in proximity to like everyone else in the party? Like whispering distance, or am I like just back far enough where only Kaine can hear me?
You know what? I'll give it to you, because that was like, you guys like combined your rogue powers together to stealth your way up there. I'd say that like you found the perfect little nook that you can whisper things maybe to Trij.
Okay.
If you try and talk a little bit further out than that, then maybe you might have to try a little bit harder for that. But Trij, you can hear this, and not just the voice in your head, but the voice behind you as well.
Oh, good.
So I will bet I bet the next jewel I steal that's Clark. And that's the guy we're looking for right now.
Did I, out of character,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm wondering if I wrote this down wrong in my notes because I had previous knowledge of this campaign, but
Mm-hmm.
I have that Clark is a bugbear. Did someone say that to us?
Yes.
You know that.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that Clark is a
Confirmed.
bugbear. That was one of the things that Vorp was free to share.
So
I'm sorry, is it what?
A bugbear.
A bugbear.
Not a goblin.
He's a
It's
bear
different kind of
that's
monster.
also a bug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's I had a moment where I thought that, and I was like, wait, no, he is still a bugbear.
My fault. I missed that detail.
Yes.
All good.
Or Vorp could have been lying, you know.
Oh no. Well,
maybe he was as big as a bugbear.
maybe.
or maybe he killed a bugbear.
Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with you like that. Again,
Yeah,
I'm feeling fun tonight.
Clark's,
No,
yeah.
you
Clark's a bugbear.
you trusted the things that Vorp had told you. You were confident in his information.
Great. Okay.
So I don't know if you want to take back that bet, Ron, because you already lost.
Nope.
Well,
No takes his
back.
backsies.
I'm still betting half. I'm betting half of it that's the guy we're looking for, though.
The guy we're looking for is a dwarf.
Nyapith's
Did I
gonna
miss that
just
detail as well?
no, because there were two. There was we know that Gundren was taken somewhere else. Sorry, let me check the record really quick.
He probably had a driver, so
Took Gundren
that guy
and
will know us.
Sildar. Yeah, took Gundren and Sildar to King Droll. They're gonna eat Sildar? Question mark! Exclamation point.
Oh yeah.
Question mark! Exclamation point.
So Nyapith is we've got the little bonfire here. We've got this group of goblins. She's looking up at the top, clocking that the human doesn't look so hot, and the fancy goblin on his fancy chair.
Mhm.
She gonna go, "Oh, I didn't realize that I'd be being held by someone of such refinement, such prestige. That's a nice chair you got there."
Wasn't expecting any more today.
Well, we're real good at our job, and we got this big one for you.
I see that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Vorp, hey. See, I don't seem to recall your name, little one.
It's Glamp.
Glamp, huh? Hey, roll me a deception check.
Oh man. That is a 15.
Glamp. Must have missed you on the roster.
Yeah, they just put me outside. So, but I think I've proven myself with getting this one as a prisoner.
Glamp did very well.
You want me to bring her up to you?
I don't know. She's looking pretty feisty still, it looks like.
No. It's just that I no longer have the will to live. And so it really doesn't need to be beaten from me. I have given it up of my own volition.
Hey Nyapith. I'm gonna say, like, as quiet as I can out of the side of my mouth. When we get up there, just try to keep him talking so he doesn't hear me when I try to heal our friend up there.
Nyapith will shoot a little wink. It's just that I'm kind of done. I thought adventuring was for me, and this your whole little band here, they took out my caravan very successfully, and I decided, how often do you get presented with the opportunity to just go out the way that you want? So we accepted that fate had this for me, and we're rolling with it.
And I'm gonna start bringing Nyapith up.
DM note for this area. Y'all can you can move your tokens in this area.
Okay.
This area is like isolated, so there's not much else here that you can see or not see as you're moving around.
And how high is this ledge?
The ledge is about 10 feet high.
Okay.
So
it's not something. It's not something that I could just sort of casually reach up.
You can't just like, you can kind of maybe try to climb up, but no, there's stairs right there. So, yeah.
Oh, and it looks. Oh, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, he's just kind of sitting there and he's questioning everything, but he seems like he's accepting it.
Looks like you got quite a crew here. You're putting together a card game?
Actually, funny enough, like the ones that are in the corner are kind of just, there's like two of them that have a deck of playing cards, and it looks like they're playing Go Fish.
Oh, that's a good card game then they got going. I used to play a lot of cards. Used to spend a lot of time with that, and looks like you got a good bunch. Yeah. Sorry. What was your name, Boss Goblin? I just would like to know, since it's probably the last name I'll learn. Isn't that kind of nice? Don't you like that? You get to be the last name that I learn.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna be a fun one to gut.
Oh.
I don't really like the talky ones.
Oh.
But yeah, since you asked so politely, you're looking at the new leader. Soon to be new leader of Cragmaw. The mighty Yeemik. Yeemik.
Nyapith's gonna go, oh, that's a lot of words for someone who doesn't like words so much. The mighty Yeemik. Oh, 3 words. That's impressive.
DM. So Trij has moved himself next to the human. I have during this conversation slowly worked my way around. And did I need to roll for that? Or is he distracted enough by the lovely conversation?
Sorry, what spell are you, or what are you?
I'm gonna do Cure Wounds. Actually, I'm going to. Is this human tied up or anything?
Yeah, he's on his knees, hands behind his back, and just like, not really there right now because he is very, very beat up.
So, okay. This is a thing that I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to give him my potion. Like, I'm going to try to administer my potion so that I don't have to do anything verbal. Because I have to touch him anyway. Like, even if I was gonna do Cure Wounds, I'd have to touch him.
Here's the thing about that.
Okay.
I think as it's been discussed many a time, and there was actually a whole entire like TTRPG community debate on like how the thickness of a healing potion and all that stuff, right? And the amount of why it is that consistency versus the amount of time it takes to consume and all that kind of stuff. There was debate on whether or not it had like, healing bobas, or if it was just like super thick, like a milkshake kind of a consistency, right? Regardless of that, the whole point for that particular potion is that it is like see, I want to make a video game reference, but you're not going to get the video game reference. It'll pop you right up. Like it really is like a cure-all.
Okay.
And because of that, it needs to like get drunk down, chugged down, and if you can think of a way to do that in secret so that the goblin boss there does not notice it, we can try for it. But I will tell you, as the circumstances sit right now, it is going to be not quite possible to do that because of the action of like, you would need to like actually hold him down, take him, like have him drink it, help him drink it down and all that stuff. I will give you that, like, you could probably sneak a touch in more effectively than the juice.
Cool. Then I will go with cure wounds.
Okay. Because that is okay. That you touch. You have your you usually have your haikus when you
correct
cast things.
Yeah.
So before we resolve that, Kaine and Wranran, they have now kind of gone up top to the ledge there. You guys are still in the shadows. Anything you guys want to do?
I wanted to thieves can't talk, so we're not using words like drawing out things. And kind of plan out that we're just gonna start slowly backtracking down the hall, but where we can like kind of just midway, like just a little halfway back. So and we're kind of gotta wait to see if we pretty much if they get caught, we got a plan of action to take care of. But my main thing is getting both of us further down that hall we came from.
Okay. You guys, again, because honestly, you guys have explored most of the cave now. There's, I'll give you that. There's like one part that you haven't gotten to yet. So you guys can have free movement now of where you want to place yourselves. That's Vorp up there. I would say that you guys can, sneak back. No roll necessary. Everyone's kind of caught up in the new hubbub of this this talkative prisoner and all of that. So you guys can move where you want to move, back on the map on there.
Okay. And question, is that a ledge behind me?
So this looks really familiar, actually. Do you remember back by the water, there was that little, some rubble and a ledge that you can kind of climb up on? It looks exactly like that. And I would say you could pretty much put two and two together and say, like, this is the other end of that opening. So if you had climbed up that way, you would have dropped down there.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to go down there because we are going to get back up. That's why we're going to take the safer route for everyone's sake. So I'm going to move right here. Now I'm going to encourage you to be behind me on the other side.
Yeah. Like here.
Yeah. that works.
Okay. So as I understand it, Trij, you're going to attempt to heal this human sneakily. Muted, sorry.
Actually, I have slightly changed my tactic.
Okay.
So it's still gonna be it's not gonna be sneaky or as sneaky. But it's gonna be a little bit of a show. So I'm gonna grab this guy by the hair and I'm gonna say, bruises and blood drips, pain engulfs your body. Feel better soon, wuss. And then I kick him. Because when I do an unarmed strike, I am such a wimpy boy that I cannot deal harm.
Amazing. Amazing. This is
That
the
is
best
a-
thing I've ever heard. And so it
Oh.
looks like Trij hurts him, but he actually heals him.
Yes. And then I say,
I'm so happy.
and then I say, yeah, stay down.
And it was a haiku. I'm so proud of you. It was so good.
The strike is so weak it adds 1 HP.
Nearly.
He's got like the
it makes
knot
for
out from his
real.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you save a death save.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on that. That's 9 healing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Give me.
I was gonna say, but yeah, is that a performance check?
Can I get that haiku just one more time?
That is bruises and blood drips, pain engulfing your body. Feel better soon, wuss.
Whatever gets the job done.
Yeah, I'll be honest, after I read that haiku, that's when I went, oh, this other thing could work. Right after I remembered what the poem was that I wrote.
Okay. Because of how absolutely amazing that is, there's no roll. That goes off without a hitch. And you
I mean, also, would you like me to roll for damage to him? My unarmed strike?
you can't do
Can't do
damage.
damage.
Wait, hold on. What?
What?
How did that? Oh, it was a 16 to hit.
It's
Okay,
16 to
that
hit.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't.
I was like,
Oh.
I was like,
Damage.
wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So if anybody, like I
So you
said,
fucked him up.
if anybody like he was tied up, he was in a position like he's anything could have hit him. He can't move out of the way, and he at that point he didn't even want to, so anything would have hit. You're right next to him, you do this haiku and you
Amazing.
give him this kick, and he actually like he's still tied up, but he like falls to the ground. But you can kind of notice as he like does that, he's like,
And then, yeah, but I shout to him, stay down.
and like you can tell that he kind of understands, and he's just kind of like, that was weird, but okay. And he's just kind of laying there now. He's facing away from Emic. What was your smash?
What?
What was your goblin name? Smarsh?
Oh,
Glamp.
Glamp.
Yeah, like glamping.
So
I had
good.
to write that down because you were just a nobody before, but yeah, after he hears that kick, Yimik is gonna turn around to you, Glamp, and he's just gonna Glamp, was it? Ah. I didn't know we had such go-getters in our ranks here.
That's what I'm telling you. It's not just anybody who could have brought me in. I mean, look at me. I'm very tall. Glamp shows promise.
Yeah, how do you think I got her?
Ah. Hey,
Very
a lot
pointy
of
ankles.
I mean, Vorp helped a lot. Vorp
wouldn't be able to kill a bug, and everybody else kind of laughs at that. And, pay attention, you rascals in here, you measly. I really gotta come up with some better insults if I'm gonna be leader of this place. Yeah, you losers, just pay attention, because this guy over here, this Glamp, he's got what it takes. Maybe even a place by the new leader's side. Yeah. So, the situation as it is right now, you have healed this human a little bit. Yimik's impressed. Nyapith, you're just kind of like, at this point, hanging out because of everything. Vorp is, again, astonished yet impressed that all of these things are like going very smoothly. Kaine and Wranran, I think, are almost even thinking the same thing from back there, like, wow, it's working. What's next for you guys?
Yeah. Well, you know, it is interesting. Glamp was telling me that maybe it would be great if they could lead some in training, you know, outside. You get all these, you know, you got a lot of. Listen, I've never planned an insurrection before, but I understand that you need to have a well-coordinated strike, you see. So perhaps it would be best if Glamp took these fellas of yours outside, maybe ran them through some ideas, you know, got them up to snuff,
Yeah.
so you can do this big takeover that you're talking about.
Yeah, and then you can handle the mouthy one on your own.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't quite know about that.
I
However, might not be a bad idea, considering the fact that we sent out 4 and only 2 of you came back. Is that right?
Yeah, because she killed the other 2, but then we got her down.
That's exactly how that happened.
Yeah.
So she does have some feist in her then, huh?
Well, I did, but as I mentioned, all will to live has just left.
Yeah, because
It's kaput.
we scared her so much.
Yeah.
After, because the first 2 came out and they were like, boo, and she was like, oh no, and then she hit him, and then they died real fast. And then we came out and we were like, hey lady, don't do that. And then she was like, oh no, there's more. And then she came with us.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know how many more, and then we showed her.
Mm-hmm. And now that I'm here, I'm really glad. I feel like I made the right decision there, the mighty Yimik, because that impressive lean you have there in your very fancy chair, it's very intimidating. I think that you, I believe every word that you say when you say that you have what it takes to lead these goblins here in Cragmaw. You know what I mean? against, if I'm understanding correctly, against this Clark, right?
Clark. That
Seems like you don't like him very
buffoon.
much.
If he thinks he is special, he's got this fun little relationship, this high and mighty connections with King Grawl. But King Grawl hasn't seen what the mighty Yemic can do.
Perhaps, Yemic, perhaps there's an opportunity for you to really show him what you're made of. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Mayhaps I could help you in that before you rip me from this mortal coil by hanging me my own entrails.
Say, that's not a half bad idea.
Oh, well, it shouldn't be, because it kind of sounded like that's where you were headed. That sounds like it was your idea.
Yeah. Hey, listen up, boys. Change of plans for today. No more waiting on Clark and his cronies. Today we take over Cragmaw Cave. Today is when Yemic rises. And everybody else, like the card players, are going to slam down their cards and be like, and they're going to go over, grab a bunch of like supplies and get all their weapons and everything. And everybody's going to get ready to go. And Yemic's going to look at you while all of this hustle and bustle is happening. And Yemic's going to look at you, Nyapith, and go, I'll tell you what. I consider myself to be a benevolent leader.
Oh.
Someone as communicative as you could be helpful to my cause. You
All right.
align yourself with me and my crew. And I'll let you go on the condition that you tell everyone who is really in charge at Cragmaw, and you let them know in Phandelver, that disgusting little town, and all around here, that Yemic is the one calling the shots. What do you say?
I mean, I think that that's a rather kind proposal that you make. It's showing a lot of diplomacy, I think, and I respect that in all tyrants. You really have to let the people, know what they can get. I'm supportive of this plan. However, I do have one question. Just because I assume that I will never be able to escape the powerful influence that is the mighty Yemic and tell the tale. Before, I'm just concerned that perhaps your prowess at all things strategery might be my undoing. There was a map that was taken. My understanding, Clog had it. Huh? That's actually kind of why I was on my way here before I was so brutally ripped from my beloved companions. You wouldn't happen to know where that is, would you?
That map is long gone.
Long gone. Where to? I mean, it's a little disappointing to know that I'll never gaze upon the thing that would bring my life mating.
You are a strange one, but if you really want to pursue such a frivolous item, I believe King Grawl will already be in possession of it.
And where would he be if I was to survive the oncoming onslaught of violence?
Oh, that's not where you survive the onslaught, because after we take the cave, we take Cragmaw Castle.
Oh, is that where Clark and this king are?
Oh no, King Grohl is definitely sitting on his false throne. The soon-to-be departed Clark is right down the corner, and we are going to put him in the ground.
All right. Okay, so I just want to summarize what I'm hearing you say here, the mighty eunuch. You're saying that you want to lead these rabble-rousers here down the hallway to take out Clark to prove that you are a better leader, right? And then you will let me go, wink, wink, and then I might be able to tell everybody, of your prowess and your abilities before taking Cragmaw Castle, where King Grohl resides, with the map.
Yeah, that about covers it, yeah.
That about covers it. Okay, great.
Is it just Clark, or does Clark have a lot of people around him?
He has some pathetic cronies. Those weak little imbeciles. They are falsely loyal to him. And his little pet puppy as well. They will be easy prey.
Oh, I like that. So listen here. I'm a huge fan of this plan, eunuch. I've come here with nothing left to live for, and yet you've given me a cause worth fighting for. You should know that my fighting style is to act as a rear guard. I like to make sure that nobody sneaks up on you. So I am happy to throw my support in. So you lead the way, and I will make sure to bring up the rear.
I appreciate that. But I think the mighty eunuch, as you so eloquently put it, does have a better idea for where to position his pawns.
Oh, no, I was just talking.
Dragonborn shield.
Right, yeah, no, I understand. Put the big guy up front. Very. But I wonder if that's, and I think that that's a marvelous idea. I would say that most strategists would have used that exact play. But since you are not like everyone else, and since they are such easy prey, wouldn't it be smarter to flip it around? Try something new. Add a little bit of flavor to your mutiny. You know what I mean? You're not going to have a mutiny like everybody else. You want them to stand out, really shake people, make them think. That eunuch, he doesn't do things like everybody else. And then they'll be extra afraid because they don't know what you're throwing at them.
Don't know where you're coming from.
Are you coming left to right to left? Is it an uppercut? They'll never know.
Hey, you know what? Make a persuasion check and see if your experience here is convincing eunuch to not use you as a dragonborn shield.
Oh, I wish it was deception, but we'll do our best.
You make some pretty interesting points, but I think we're gonna go my way. And actually, at that point, everyone's already kind of geared up and ready to go. And eunuch is going to give one last hurrah to everyone and say, "Today, we take over the cave, soon the castle, and then everyone in the region will cower under the mighty eunuch and his invincible army." And everyone's gonna go, "Ugh." And before we decide what's next, I think that's a pretty nice place. Actually, let's pause, because I think Kaine has an idea. Let's see what Kaine and Wranran, you've been hearing a lot of this stuff, and you actually hear the commotion and hubbub. Before we go to break, what are you guys gonna do?
Right when he starts giving his speech, I want us to start backing down, and my plan is to try to get us to climb down the bridge to the bottom floor.
Because if they if they get geared up and ready to leave, we are in the only hallway out.
Yeah.
So as soon as I start hearing the speech, I'm like, we gotta go and
all right.
I got a really dumb idea about getting down. I want us both to hold on to opposite ends of the ropes and kind of shimmy down, like being counterweights to one another, kind of thing.
Yeah, because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that's,
Like if we're
unless my
if we're
math
kinda
is
like-
weird, that should work, because it's like 20 up and 20 down, and you've got 50 feet of rope. So if you could, I'm still, because it's still a climb down. I will. Yeah, I'll let you guys roll that, and I'll let you do it both at advantage, because you guys are kind of helping each other try and get down. That's a neat idea.
Acrobatics, right?
And yeah, I'll still let you decide, acrobatics or athletics.
Don't fail me now. Wow.
How do you roll for advantage?
You can either right click. You should be able to, right click
okay.
on the thing, and it should bring up an advantage roll. Otherwise, you can just also roll it twice. It's just a matter of rolling it twice, and you're taking the higher of the two, or the same of the two if you're rolling the same number.
Well,
22. Or is that right?
He's just
Or is
really
it-
good at carrying both of us.
What happened with that? Because that was
I got 5
yeah.
and 5.
Hold on, I'm kind of trying to look at here. You rolled 2d20 plus your modifier. Okay, weird. It just came up in a different way than Kaine's did. That was strange. Anyway, literally the same thing happens as before, where Kaine, you kind of maybe start swinging a little bit more or something like that, and things are a little off, but Wranran's able to kind of steady you and get the counterbalance going, and between the two of you, you guys can climb down. So I'm gonna whip you over. You guys are actually now over here.
Is that goblin still asleep? Oh, he's tied up anyway.
That goblin is still asleep and tied up.
Crap, I was gonna mention that. Never mind. It's too late. We're already down.
You would have noticed the goblin before you climbed down. Did you want to do something with your sleepy friend?
Yeah, because I think my original idea about that's dumb would have been to put him as an anchor on one side and someone climb down, and then but then I thought the other idea was better, but then I completely forgot to account for him still being up there.
Use him as a counterweight.
I'm just imagining this again, he's mummified with rope, and you tie yet another rope to that rope, and he is just stuck on the bridge with this two elves caught up against his back, and he's just every time you guys drop down a little bit and tug on it, he's just so you just slide down.
Amazing.
I'm good with whichever multiverse theater of the mind. Either you guys are counterweighting each other or the goblin. I like it all. It all works. It's all amazing. We 3, 2, 1. Battle music. Are gonna go to war.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna turn that up just a titch. There we go. I think that's okay. Here we go. So we last left off. Wranran and Kaine have climbed down off of the bridge, and they brought the sleepy, tied up goblin with them. And you're just kind of stashing him off to the side. When you got red, Kaine, you got all red. That's rude.
We're going to battle.
Yeah, I like that.
It's intense.
Mood lighting. I'm in the mood now for war.
I actually, I'm saying we're actually gonna kind of taking him with us. We're both like kind of just grabbing an end, and
Oh, okay.
because I don't know which, where, what not.
All right. So you guys are doing that. And what is, I guess, as they start to come around, do you guys have what's your next steps for what you guys are doing? Are you gonna hang out? Are you gonna join the fray? Are you still gonna be sneaking around? Like, there's lots of things you could do and so many possibilities of how that could play out, and I am just here for all of them, honestly. I'm as much, I feel like I'm just kind of along for the ride at this point, because you all are making such wonderful choices here. I love this so much, and all of you. So what's your plan? What's going on?
Are you good to follow my plan, or do you got a plan of your own?
I'm good to follow your plan, but maybe hide the sleepy goblin so they don't see, like...
Yeah, that's why he's coming with
What?
us until.
Yeah, like...
All right, so
just so no one's like, what happened here?
I got this. So here's the plan. We're gonna hide in the shadows under the bridge. As soon as they're done crossing, we're picking this goblin up, and we're gonna go down that crevice, and we're gonna hide in the shadows over there until they pass us up, and then which we can go try to climb back up to go get that human and
Gotcha.
get him
Okay.
out while they go march, and then either we can try to catch up with them or get more information and then follow the trail.
I like
That's
that.
our plan.
All right. The first true, like, splitting of the party here. I really do like this. All right. They're plotting their next move over there. Back to the rec room where they're getting ready to wreck things. Everybody's got all their stuff, and so Vorp's gonna kind of step out of the way, since, as everyone noted during the break, he's still pretty kind of hurt. So he's gonna let everybody else in their fury kind of go first. And so the lot of goblins are going to start their march down the hall here. Yimik, though, is going to shout to, as these last two are leaving, he's going to shout to them and go, Da, you two need to stay behind and make sure our meal stays fresh. And they're gonna go disappointed, but okay, yeah. And
What about Glamp? Wouldn't Glamp be the best person for the job, considering how well he's managed? I think those two.
I would not waste such a valuable warrior if Glamp were to take down such a beast as you on the battlefield.
Right, but he
of
might be
course.
a little tired from bringing me in, you know what I mean? But he seems to be handling that prisoner pretty well.
The warriors will stay
Yeah.
by my side.
I mean, I kept him down pretty good, but what I could do is, what if instead we brought him with, so that we could eat him when we won.
Oh, that will definitely happen.
But like right when we won, like when we're in all the excitement, then we can just be like, there's an arm. I'm so hungry because I just won a battle.
Glamp, my beautiful warrior. If you are going to be my second in command, I think it's time to learn a valuable lesson of taking orders from your commander. Now go. And he seems pretty intent on having you come with.
So
How far are these other goblins away from us?
They're already down the hall. Like they're
gone.
They're kind of down the hall. They're not going all the way, but they're kind of starting their march down there. Yeah.
So it's just the 3 in here.
It is Yimik and then two other goblins that have now made their way up to their post, and technically Vorp, because he's still a goblin, but Vorp's in there too. Yeah.
Right, but Vorp's our buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get a little meta. I'm gonna get a little meta here, but I feel like this is a good opportunity to like talk through what I'm thinking before I just like do it.
Sure.
If the other goblins are like down the hallway a ways, we've only got 3 in here. We assume that our allies are like nearby or whatever. Like, would it be worth it, Sam, to just try and take them now?
I was thinking that, especially. Do you have a blade?
I've got my Morning Star and a whip.
I'm just trying to figure out how we're gonna get what's his butt untied so that he can also help us.
Like a dagger or something that I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let me look. I'm sure I have like a dagger or something that we can like cut him free with.
Sorry, I also, again, I don't want to get too much into it because
yeah.
I'll give you like not getting too far into it, but I can imagine you guys are having like the eye conversation of like
Yimik's trying to bully, like Nyapith's patience is running thin.
And also, how much time are we at this point?
Exactly.
At this point, you're probably at the half-hour mark. You're halfway done.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was my concern too, is that we were running low on lamp time.
On glam juice.
Glam juice, yeah. I think as Nyapith's talking and Yimik is getting kind of flustered, Nyapith's gonna kind of adjust her jacket and say, "Now, Yimik, one thing that all smart leaders should learn is that they should know who they're talking to before they start throwing around such harsh orders. I would be happy to teach you that lesson now." And she is going to pull out her Morning Star and whip and just attack him.
All right. How do I want to do this? You know what? Yeah, we'll still have everybody roll initiative.
Please roll good. Me, please roll good.
Right.
And that's everybody, including
Oh
Oh,
God.
buddy. Okay.
Wranran
Okay.
and
Oh
Kaine
my-
still.
Okay.
Run, Trij, run!
That is a 21 from Trij.
It's a 3 from Nyapith.
Yeah, 14.
18.
All right, give me 1 second. So, Nyapith.
But Nyapith still gets that like surprise attack though, right?
Maybe. Wranran is 18. Kaine was 14. This should still work. I hope this still works.
Remember how we're level 1 and I looked at my HP and saw the number 12 and went,
Yeah.
Okay, no, this still works. Okay.
Oh, trust me, I am a sad, ouchy little boy, and I don't have any spells left.
we're gonna do our best.
So, oh, and that actually works out because there are 3 goblins. Wow. I'm so grateful that even despite everything, there's still things that work out in the technical aspects. Yeah, I'd say that even though he shouldn't have been, Ymik was kind of taken aback. You can get in a your action here. So
Awesome.
Nyapith, even though you're last, the first shall be last and the last shall be first.
Amazing.
So get on in there, and what are you gonna do?
Yeah, just what I described. So we're gonna try and hit with a 10, and I'm guessing that's not gonna work.
10 will miss.
And then we're gonna bonus action. Boop. A 14.
14 will miss.
Damn. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. She
It was nice
he's
knowing you.
maybe a little more spry than we realized. But Nyapith is now engaged with him, so that's better than nothing. So yeah, that's all I can do. That's not true. As she attacks, she's gonna turn and look at Vorp, and yell, "Vorp, go tell him that the lead is coming soon. Go tell him not to come back here, not for nothing." That's all she was doing.
Okay. Next up is Trij.
Ooh, okay. So I'm trying to figure out if Trij is gonna attempt. Yeah, no, Trij is gonna just let it happen. So Trij is going to hit this bad boy with Word of Radiance.
All right.
And that's a 11 Constitution save.
It's a Constitution saving throw.
Yes. Or hold on. Oof. But yeah, Constitution save.
Constitution save DC is 11.
11.
Yeah, that's a big old 1. So that goblin fails.
Well, he takes 1 radiant damage. Me and my cantrips aren't doing great with
Amazing.
With the ouchies lately.
Apparently we can lie our pants off and sell
yeah,
any
right?
kind of story. But when it comes time to like punch,
actually do a thing. And then as I don't know if this can be a bonus action. If it can't, cool. I will just do this next time around. But since he's right here, I'm gonna bend over and try to start untying our friend.
You know, here's how I'll do this. I'll say that you can start it as a bonus action. But it is going to take some time.
Sure.
So you will be kind of focused on that, and it may affect some other things down, like in the rest of the combat initiative.
Great.
Unless, and I will put this out there to you to be, because I'm just feeling fun and benevolent like this. Are you untying, or are you do you have a way of just like cutting it, plucking it, like
I mean,
breaking the binds essentially?
I don't. I mean, I guess I could try to use a crossbow bolt, but like, you could grab a crossbow bolt and try to like poke at it, you know, slash it that way.
Yeah, so we'll kind of keep the same rules going with that. I'll allow that. I feel like you would want to find some sharp and start the ropes there. So you can start cutting into it. It'll be the same kind of idea, but it'll just take less time. So
great.
Because you got the sharp thing coming in there, instead of you trying to like untangle your your earphone cords, you're just trying to cut them open. So
yeah,
very good.
Great.
Next up is that goblin that you attacked, though.
Oh jeez.
Oh.
Oh man.
And he's gonna try. Now that he's a little confused because he's like, "What? Wait, what? 'Cause, like, you're a goblin. You're on our side. What?" But he's gonna be like, "Well, you know, you're attacking us, so I'm gonna attack you now." He probably shouts something like, "Clark, sympathizer," and because they're all riled up, they are like,
Yeah.
they're
ready to go.
they are wild right now.
Yeah.
So we are gonna do. He's gonna do a swipe at you, and that's gonna be a 15 to hit.
My AC is 15.
That will hit because we are gonna use the meets it beats it rule for both sides.
Great.
Took me off guard. Apologies.
Not going there.
I feel like
Filthy.
I missed something, but we're just gonna go ahead and do that. And that's gonna be 4 slashing damage.
Duh. Okay.
We're gonna change scenes. Hold on. Let me do this really quick because I think this is important too now. And I've got like 9 NPCs on the board now. And my pen is running out of ink. Okay. Okay. So that means, whoa, stop it. Be out there by now. I'm actually just gonna hide that goblin. He's with you, but he's not there. We'll keep track of him. So yeah, we've got that goblin out on the ledge. And next up is Wranran and Kaine, you would have heard from up top a goblin. It sounds like a couple of them are coming in, and they're coming in like ready to fight something. They're just kind of like get the Clark, and they're the one you can now kind of see up top. Doesn't seem to notice you because they're just laser focused on going to get whoever this Clark person is. So Wranran, you're up next.
Okay. So I'm assuming we don't hear anything that's going on in that room. So we're still going with the original plan of letting the goblins run through and then us going up this part to get back into the room and to free the prisoner.
Okay.
So would they be able to see me if I start making my way that way?
It is possible. Are you just making your way that way, or are you going to be stealthy about it?
I'm going to go the stealthy route.
Then yeah, make a stealth check for me.
Here goes. 17.
This goblin is not paying attention to anything except what's in front of him. So yeah, you can safely make your way over there. And again, you can move your token to wherever you can. And this time, though, within the parameters of your movement. So however many, whatever your movement is. And each square is 5 feet. So
okay,
keep that in mind.
So 1.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.
To drag this goblin around, am I gonna need to actually roll and get some help with this kind of thing before he gets too far and I have to yell at him to come back and help me?
It would be easier with 2 people, but the goblin is tied up in such a way that like he's got handles everywhere. So you could probably assess that like you could get him by yourself. It just might, again, anything's easier. Many hands make light work, but you could have the ability to carry this goblin by yourself, just of how much that is going to affect certain other things you do, like that. Yeah, that'll be different.
Okay.
So to answer your question, like, yes, you can move. You can do it by yourself. It of course is going to be easier with somebody else, but you can do it by yourself.
Well, then I'll leave it up to you to scout ahead or help carry him.
And I mean, actually, the same would apply to you, Wranran. Like, are you taking the goblin with you as you stealth around?
I remind you of my weak, feeble arms that can't do anything.
Would that hinder my movement at all?
So as not to like kind of mess with anything that's already happened, I guess how I would say that is like your movement and stealthing with this goblin, then if that is what you're going to do, that would be all you can do for this turn. I would say that like you are mustering as much of your dexterity and your and the strength and everything that you've got to like carry this thing quietly to your next destination. And so yeah, that your movement over there I think would take up your turn for this time around. But it's possible if that's what you wanted to do. But that'd be the only thing you can do this turn.
Got it. Okay, why don't we just leave the goblin under the bridge, like off in the shadows?
Because they come around and they'll see him. It's just not the smart play.
I will give you this. Like, you can be confident, like, as you would have noticed before and how the situation played out, like, you can see, like, around the bridge, but directly underneath, there's no way that anybody could see underneath it. So I think I will give you that much. Like, you can hide this goblin under the bridge, so you wouldn't have to worry about it too much.
My thought process is they're coming out the same way that we came in, so they would have to go under the bridge, and they would see him.
They're
So
going
that's my
over
correct-
the bridge.
They're over the bridge.
They're going on the bridge, so
Yeah.
they can't see. The only way they could, like, the only way they'd see him is if they looped all the way back round, which they
And
probably
And they're
won't
they're
do.
not going to do that because they're going
Yeah.
to a different part of the cave.
Yeah.
They're not
I
coming.
don't-
They're not leaving
I
the
don't
cave.
know that part.
You would. Yeah, Kaine would absolutely
they're-
know that because you have traveled, like, back and forth through this bridge, like, twice now, like, well, 2-3 times now. You've gone back and forth around.
Well, I haven't seen that other part of the cave. Like, me personally have not seen that part of that cave because I didn't go over there.
But you know that
So-
that's how we came across
Yeah.
the bridge, though.
Yeah,
Like, you know that we went up and around. So you know it. You would know, like, in order to get under the bridge, they would have to go the way we went, that Trij and Nyapith went, which was over and then back around. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
my thought
Kaine would know
process
that.
is them coming back around because I know they're leaving to go attack. So my thought is they're going.
But Kaine would have been able to hear, like, different things. Like, you haven't been to that particular side of the cave yet, but knowing
I
what
heard
you
that
know
they were
about
going
the
to a different-
area and knowing what you know, you would be able to tell that they're not leaving the cave. They're just going to a different part
Okay.
of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I understand what you're saying, and I can see how that's a worry, but Kaine would absolutely be
Okay.
able to know that, like, and I'm sorry if something that I was describing or something wasn't clear, but yeah, they are going
I
across
think-
the bridge.
I think-
They're not leaving the cave at all. They're just going to this different part. So you wouldn't have to worry about you guys being seen at this point, unless you are within that field of vision, and honestly, at this point, making noise below the bridge.
Okay, then yeah, no, we'll definitely just hide him under the bridge.
Yeah.
And he can go about his ways.
All right, so I will sneak 35 feet. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Will say you can get, like, up to here before something else is going to happen. So that's about as far as you
5.
can go. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
I was able to move diagonally, right?
yeah.
Okay.
You can. Yeah. You have learned. You know this particular area of the cave very well right now, so you were able to move very quietly through to that little nook. So yeah. Since you weren't moving the goblin or anything else like that, is there anything else that you wanted to do on your turn?
I believe this counts as a ledge, so would I be able to climb that this turn or no?
I wouldn't say, because that's gonna take up some of your movement, some extra movement, and, like, I'm gonna expect another, like, athletic ability check to get up there.
Mhm.
You moved, how many feet was that? 5, 10, 15,
25.
25. I think you would be able to prepare yourself to climb it. You probably wouldn't be able to get to the top this turn.
Okay.
Because that is about maybe like a 15-foot high ledge. It's like you could probably make it, but then like you'll be, I don't know, you'll be hanging there for a little bit. So
Gotcha.
next turn for sure you can make the climb, but this one it'll be really difficult too.
So then I can use the remaining 10 feet to go part way up.
Essentially, yeah. Be kind of hanging out for a little bit if you can hang out for a little bit.
I will go part way up.
All right. Since I do really like this plan. Like this is, it's strange because it's a mix of like feeling so thought out, but also so spur of the moment that it's just so wonderful. There's this beautiful mix of like all of this. I like it so much. I'll let you decide once again for the climbing in here, acrobatics or athletics. Yeah.
Acrobatics. 21.
Yeah, you frequent the mountain wall at your local YMCA, and you're able to kind of swing up and around and get a good climb and assess how you're going to do it. And honestly, yeah, with a 21, I was going to have some other checks coming in, but I think you're solid for the rest of this round. So
Just hanging up there with my dominant hand.
Yep, you're hanging. You're like, I'm belaying. All right. All right. As Wranran is climbing, he snuck over to that wall and he's climbing to assist or do whatever is going on in here. He don't know what's going on in here yet. Ymik, actually a little impressed with your chutzpah, Nyapith.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to be impressed that you would attack the mighty Ymik, but he is going to try to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 14 hit?
It does not.
Nope, and that was it. Yeah, this is what he'd do. He would, as a bonus action, he is going to use the disengage action
Oh,
to
rude.
jump back over. How much is that speed? Yeah. He's gonna do some moves, kind of jump like over and around the human there. Oh, right, you can read his name.
Yeah, it's okay. We know.
I literally
It's
just
okay.
realized you can read his name, but that's okay.
We're being real. We're RPing it.
Player knowledge versus character knowledge, but yeah, this
we
human
good.
that you don't
We good,
know,
bud.
he's climbing over,
Yeah, we good, bud.
and he's going to command his fellow goblins. He's like, "This must be a ploy from Clark. Kill them all." And next up actually is this goblin who is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We're moving him up there. And after that is Kaine. We're scooting back over to Kaine. Kaine, what are you doing?
I'm I'm gonna wait actually until they all cross the bridge.
right.
Waiting for the leader to cross because I'm assuming he'd be last, or until at least I see someone from the party come across. So I'm gonna wait to just kind of watch and see them all cross, kind of thing.
All right. Are you just waiting, or this is a fun thing to do, and this is just kind of for new players out there. This is a fun thing you can do in combat. You can hold an action. So if you want, you can be a little specific about certain actions you want to take and what triggers those actions. So you're welcome to like wait and assess and do all of that. But if you wanted to wait for a specific person or something else to come out, you can let me know. I'm going to hold an attack until I see this particular thing happen or until this particular trigger happens. And once that happens, we'll resolve that action. So yeah, either is fine. I'm just wanted to clarify that you've got some options there. So you going to wait, or are you going to hold on to an action?
See, the thing is, I was gonna hold my action until they all like I see the leader cross and then start moving. I think I kind of just like meditated a little, knowing that by the time it comes back around to me, like he's not gonna be crossed yet. But yeah, but like mechanically, I'm waiting. I'm holding my action to move until I see him cross to the other side of the bridge.
Okay. Perfect. Cool. The rogue lies in wait.
Yes.
Okay, next up is this other goblin who is going to cross over. And try and take on the mighty Nyapith.
Let's go.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 will hit.
Just as a heads up, I will let you in on this. I'm changing some of these modifiers and stuff like that too.
We good, boss. Sometimes the dice just like the baddies. It's okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be 5 damage
Alrighty.
as he cuts into you with the scimitar. The next goblin that's up, if you've been keeping count of the number of goblins in this room, is Vorp. Vorp heard your command to like run out, but he's also looking at everybody else here, and he's conflicted. He is going to move towards the opening, but then seeing you get hit, Nyapith, he's gonna turn around and he's gonna go and he's gonna fire a short bow at his former friend.
My man. My main man, Vorp.
Oh no.
Oh,
I'm
no.
I'm 100% okay with this, but how did we not take his weapons from him?
Okay.
We just didn't.
Nobody told me that you guys like stripped him.
No,
So.
we super
No,
didn't. We super
I
didn't.
thought about
We
I
super-
no, you're 100% right, because I thought about this earlier. I forgot to mention, I was like, we should still short bow,
We straight up
so
just trusted
both our
him.
rogues can actually shoot range. And I
Now-
just did not remember until exactly right this moment.
A
I've
common
never thought of
misconception
that.
is that trust comes first, or that vulnerability comes before trust, but it's the other way around. You gotta trust people, you know?
And I mean,
No,
to be
I'm pretty
fair,
sure he was pretty vulnerable. He was pretty murdered.
Right. Okay.
I also want to say, to be fair,
Yeah.
to be fair,
Sorry.
you also were marching around Nyapith fully equipped. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
no.
only reason you got away with that is because of like the willingness of like I'm so excited to be here as a prisoner.
Yeah.
That it's like, all right, I guess we'll let you keep our weapons. We can probably take you.
Yeah.
But that short bow hit, Nyapith, you see the short bow come from Vorp, and for like maybe a split second you think he was aiming at you, but then you see a really critical hit on this goblin in front of you. And it is looking very, very rough. It looks just about as rough as Vorp did before you patched him up a little bit as this short bow arrow slices through him. Funny enough,
Amazing.
this one is gonna move up, and next up is you, Nyapith.
Hell yeah. Nyapith is going to attack with her Morning Star at this guy in front. Boop. For a 23 to hit.
If you want to, you can, but yeah, this thing got shot from behind in the side, and he was like, we played canasta together, and like as he's like looking back at his former friend and being like, why, you just like smack him,
Block him.
and
Nyapith will just under her breath, Knasta's a stupid game. she takes we're gonna step here, just like kind of, she'll actually kind of push it, like use the momentum to knock it off the platform, and with the human still prone on the ground, I'm hopeful that I can use my whip that has a 10-foot reach to reach across this to still attack at this guy here, but would only do so if she like felt confident that she could attack over the human.
I'd say with where they are on the ground, and with where they are on the ground, and with how tall you are, with all of that stuff, you can crack the whip up there like that. So yeah, whip it good.
17 to hit.
And that's the other goblin.
This guy,
That's
the one straight ahead, not Yemek.
Yeah, well, 17 is going to hit.
Awesome. For 5 slashing damage.
You're able to just kind of crack it right across this goblin's front, and he's just kind of like pushed back from the intensity of this whip that comes right at him. And man, he looks bad. He looks so bad. He looks just as bad as Vorb did before you patched him up. That is literally the only way I know how to describe this to all of you anymore.
Yeah.
That is the metric we're using. He has Vorp amount of hit points.
He's Vorp amount of hit points. So she cracks her whip, and she'll call out, Glamp hurt his feelings. And that is my turn.
Okay. I like it.
All right.
He's looking pretty Vorpish right now.
I'm a little Vorpish. Next is Trij.
Yes.
Trij, because we changed all this and the timing is off, by the start of your next turn now, you are able to cut through all of the rope that was tying this human up. So the human is now free at the top of your turn. You'll still have your actions and things to work with.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So, okay. So Trij, I think this is just my movement. But I just want to like double check on that. My mirthful leaps. I don't think that's a, whenever you make a long or a high jump, you can roll a d8 and add that number to the number of feet you cover.
Yeah, so
You're trying to like jump off of this. You can roll to see how far you can jump.
I want to jump off of this and sort of be in front of Vorp.
okay. Yeah, and you can either do it as like a, I mean, that's not even a running jump or anything like that. Yeah, that just adds to your movement thing. That's it. Yeah, that's a feature. So yeah, you're part of the movement. So yeah,
Okay.
Go ahead and roll for your mirthful leap.
Oh my gosh, why did that do 2? Okay, we're gonna call that a 6.
All right, so you get,
Yeah, but I don't necessarily need. Yeah, I don't necessarily need the extra distance unless we want to count the 10 feet that I'm falling. Because my intention was to like literally try to jump over the human and like go down the thing and land in front of
got it.
Vorp.
So GM,
Mm-hmm.
technically,
Mm-hmm.
like falling like 10 feet does incur like damage.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I think it's a d6 for every 10 feet.
Yep.
But
Okay.
I mean, if she's doing cool satyr shit, maybe that's something that like factors in. I don't know.
That's
And
exactly
that's,
what I was
guess
thinking.
that's what I was like trying to figure out.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And so here's how I would play with that. And this could be something to keep in mind for like your character and for this campaign as like an unofficial rule that we'll put out there. For that kind of distance, for that kind of jump, you know, it's not a lot, but for something that is like 10 feet high, something like that, I feel like you would have the experience and with this mirthful leap thing to make some of those jumps and things like that. You wouldn't have to like jump over the human.
Okay.
You could walk past him, like move past him, like step over him and do all that stuff. And so what I will say is like when you do a mirthful leap and you roll like high enough, like honestly I'm thinking anything other than maybe like a 1, then like you can make that jump down because that's sort of adding some extra movement and some extra momentum to that jump.
Great.
So it's kind of it's adding extra movement, but for like going down, because I want to clarify this, it's essentially what I'll do is it'll negate the damage that you get from the drop. And again, this is only going to be because it's only a D8. I don't know if it increases over time, but like
I don't believe so.
yeah, so it'll still just be for like shorter jumps like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I was thinking, and that's, again, I was like, it's only 10 feet. I don't quite like.
Yeah, I'll say you've got that nifty ability to like jump when you do that, and you can basically avoid having to roll damage for that because that covers the majority of that distance. So you jump down.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like add, I guess. It still doesn't add extra movement. You've basically just covered the movement of the drop. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's where we're at,
okay.
and keep that in mind for
Great.
the future. I will try and make a note of that as well for that drop
Yeah.
or the mirthful leap.
So I'm gonna move Trij over here. And
Actually back up. No, it'll still apply. Never mind. You used to be good. For a second, I was like, you're dressed up. You are in goblin form. But
that was another thing that I wasn't sure about.
I feel like you'd still have that ability since you're still all of that stuff. That this is just kind of a...
It's a glamour more than...
Yeah. Because this is...
Well, it's disguise self.
That's the spell, disguise self.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually... Sorry, just reading up a little bit. Yeah, it doesn't say that. So yeah, you're still you. It just looks like you're not you. So yeah, totally fine. Yep. You haven't changed your shape at all or anything like that. So you're good.
Correct.
Yep.
Great. Okay. So I'm there. And I'm going to, as a bonus action, equipped my shield. So I've now got my scale mail and my shield. And then as my action, I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on Mr. I am weak. Ow. Stop.
All right.
Sorry.
Kitties.
I know.
Stretching and using my leg as a thing. Yeah. Toll the Dead is... Why isn't this...
A wisdom save.
Wisdom save.
And he has to be an 11 wisdom save.
On that goblin.
It's...
Oh, yeah. He said it was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
He's going
Perfect.
back. Yay,
Yeah.
he came back. And
So fast. So fast.
That was fast and like smooth. All the pictures came back. Oh,
Nice.
that's smooth.
Yeah.
Nice.
Smooth transition.
I love it. Do we still got you, CJ? Like,
Yep.
Oh,
cool.
Beautiful.
All right.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to switch before
All
we got
good.
to my turn, but I didn't want to slow it down.
No worries. We got you. Yeah, it is. I don't know. I think I found the secret to the tech stuff. That's great. Anyway, long story short, that person's dead.
Oh, wait.
Oh no! What has happened?
Oh no.
It's probably the internet. Our
no.
things probably
Oh.
just froze. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah,
There
we're
we go.
good.
It's because I
Hey.
said I figured out
Yeah.
the tech stuff, so it had to glitch
Yeah,
real quick.
right.
Be like, Joe.
Just had to
Sure.
humble you real quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm assuming he failed his wisdom save.
Yeah. Oh, he mightily failed.
Can I just roll it though? Just
Yeah.
to,
Go ahead, roll
Just-
it and flavor it for me. Put some spice on this for me.
God damn it!
What the?
Again!
It don't matter because
Again!
that's all it
That's
takes.
all you needed. That's all you needed.
So yeah, so he Trij ends his haiku, get a headache, dick, and he spits a little bit, and then the guy's head just sort of like just bursts and splits in half because it hurts so bad,
Gross.
and he's dead. That's all. The end.
Or wrong guy.
Yeah, I think I did kind of mess that up a little bit, but yeah, because the names are hard, and especially when they're all over each other. So what I noticed is that this is actually Yimik up here. Didn't help that they're all the same
Gotcha.
icon. I should have made different icons.
Gotcha.
I'm still gonna go with the fact that like you went for the weak goblin
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
and you
That's
were able
fine.
to do all that. So yeah, weak goblins
Yeah.
gone. All that
Perfection.
remains is Yimik now. Well, I mean, in this area.
Right.
But speaking of a different area, Wranran, you're up next.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna hang out here, do some pull-ups.
All right. Some cardio, some calisthenic.
I'm gonna scale the rest of this cliff. Do I have to roll another acrobatics?
Yeah, do me another acrobatics roll to make it up the rest of the way. Did it be a little bit easier since you're already halfway there?
7.
That's perfect, because I was like, you've got a couple feet left. So yeah, you able to make it all the way up and over. So here's how we're gonna do this. Your movement is like 30, 35?
35.
So let's say that was 5 feet to get up top there. So I'll move you really quick. Yeah, you're up top. It's another 15 feet down. You can easily like slide down. Because it's a slide, I'll say that continues to be like the 5 feet of movement down there. So whatever the next couple squares are like normal squares. You're able to slide down there if you want. So far right now, you've only used up 5 feet of your movement.
Okay. So then I will move another 5 feet here.
And actually, like, it's going to be an automatic move to the next square over. Because you're sliding down the wall.
Oh, so then I would go, like, up. Would I go up the wall then?
You go, like, yeah, right there.
Okay.
So now you've used up 10 feet of movement.
Okay. And so...
Yeah, some of these squares are really weird, too. How they...
I see Trij. I see... I'm assuming that's still 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I put his name up, didn't I? Yeah, it's just on the bottom. But yeah, that's 4.
Oh, okay. And then I move 1. Kind of noticed Trij isn't looking so hot right now. Wondering what's going on, so I move 1. I'm sorry, what was that, 10? I moved 10 already?
You moved 10 already, yeah.
Okay. So 15, 20, and then 25. I still don't have a good view of this here. Okay, 30. Oh, did I? Oh, wow, I missed that. You mixed that.
Or Yimik's not dead. This
Yeah.
is Yimik right here.
Yeah, you mix...
His name's just over it because it overhangs. Yeah, so he's right there.
Oh, okay. So, so it's under the icon.
Yep.
Yeah, the names are all weird. I'm gonna move this body back here. This
Yeah.
is a goblin, and this is Yimik.
Okay, well, oh wow. In that case, can I take back a square, or no?
I'll let you move back too. If you didn't intend to like move that far out.
Like move back 2, or
what's your intention? What are you planning here?
because I was gonna climb the cliff here to sneak up on Yimik, because I'm assuming I see him as I'm turning the corner.
You'd be able to see him, but like this is about another like 10-foot high thing, and he has a good survey of the land, so
Okay.
He has the high ground.
Yeah, he has the high ground. So he is on full alert now that he is the only one left on the battlefield. So
Got it.
yeah, that kind of sneaky sneak.
gonna
Unless
work.
you like started to sneak in there, but yeah, by this time, yeah, he's
Got
on
it.
full alert.
If I see Wranran kind of like running in, Nyapith be like, "Oh, you want to shoot something?"
I can throw a dagger at him.
Yeah, you can.
I
I mean, you can try.
Oh, well, from here, I'm going to throw a dagger at him instead of like moving back.
All right.
So roll for hit.
Yep. That attack roll.
17.
17 will hit. Roll for damage.
And I hit for 5 since I'm not sneaking.
Let me look really quick. Where are you? Why can't I find these things? Because I always forget all of these different things.
I think I'm just out of range to give him the. I'm 10 feet from him, not 5 feet, unless you count the human. In which case, sneak attack would apply.
That's what I'm looking at, and yeah, like he's technically an enemy of the target. So yeah, I would say if you want to use that sneak attack damage,
I
that can
thought
apply.
it doesn't work. I thought it doesn't work because he's prone.
The only thing it states is that if there's a enemy, let's see,
Yeah,
if you another enemy within 5 feet and the enemy isn't incapacitated.
and thanks to
Trij.
Trij's kick heals, heel kicks.
Heel kicks.
Yeah, he's not getting incapacitated. He's looking hurt still, but he's a lot better. He hasn't made that wild announcement to everybody yet, but he's better. So yeah, I would say that goes ahead and counts, and is a real hard hit. You hit a nerve and maybe a couple other things with Ymik as this dagger comes flying out from this new source, and he gets just completely impaled by this dagger. Wranran, anything else you want to do on your turn?
Can I use my bonus action to throw a second dagger?
You moved, you did the dagger. You wouldn't be able to, yeah, well, yeah, you can. You have 2-weapon fighting. If either weapon has the thrown property, you can throw the weapon instead of making a melee attack with it. So I would say you threw the one, and you can upper hand one and lower hand the other.
The only thing with that, unless you have the fighting style, you won't add the the attack modifier to it. So like it'll just be the dice.
Okay.
Okay, so then I roll for hit for the second one.
Yeah. So that would be so you're saying that it wouldn't be like the hit, like any of the modifiers, or just the hit modifier?
Or you don't add your ability modifier to the damage of the bonus attack.
To the damage.
Unless
it's
it's
a
negative.
negative.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, unfortunately though, that one does miss, and it kind of swings past and clangs up against the back wall Ymik was ready for that one now that he knows you're there.
Oh no, my dagger! I stole that off the maiden of the tower.
Yeah, don't. As a newer player, I'll give you this one. Don't forget to get those back if you want them back.
Yeah.
No, I wanted him to forget about them.
I mean, you can leave them there if you want, but if you want them back, you're gonna have to get them back. Anything else?
I just wanted this in the next scene. He goes to the fight. He's like,
right.
oh,
They're already out
take
there.
them out of the bodies.
Anything else, Wranran?
No, that is all.
All right. Let me do some stuff behind the scenes really quick. Because I, honest to God, could never have been prepared for this. Right, so we're gonna do. All right. Oh my God. Okay. That was that goblin's turn. God, you guys. I'm sorry. I can't believe episode 2 and you've incited a war. It's only episode 2. Next up.
Yeah, bud. Yeah, bud.
Next up is Ymik, though. Yeah, it is Ymik, and he is going to come back down around here. Stop doing that. And he's going to try and take a swipe again at Nyapith.
Mm-hmm.
Nyapith does a 16 hit.
Meets it, beats it. Yep.
That's 2 slashing damage.
Okay. That all you got, Ymik?
It's not, because this time around, oops. Which one was, okay, that's that. And he takes a swipe at you, and then he takes a swipe towards the human. He says, "No, it's not all I got."
Oh, you picking on the harmless, hurt person. Real brave, real tough of ya, Ymik.
Yeah, if I'm not leaving here and I'm not getting my meat, no one will. But it's big talk because he just swipes past the human and misses. Kaine, what is your dex modifier? Do you have?
My dex modifier?
Or you've got that? Never mind. I see that you got a +2. Okay, so you are actually up first now. We're going back to Kaine. Kaine is back in the hallway. You just saw, to paint the picture for you, to give you an idea of what's going on, and I'm gonna give you some of this situation because there's now a commotion. You've got a couple goblins crossing the bridge above you, and over to the hallway to that stairwell to like the north. What is that? East. Towards this direction. You start to hear a scuffle, and you hear one goblin sound. And actually, you're the one that you speak goblin.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear like some words and cussing and things in Goblin. There's fighting going on over there, and it sounds like goblin on goblin action, which I realize how that sounds after it came out of my mouth.
I go home.
But that's how we get the views. So
Hey, okay, my only gobs.
yeah, only gobs.
Ah,
Oh no.
That's what you. That's the situation around you. What you doing?
Goblins gone wild in Cragmaw Cave. Oh no.
what I don't want to do is
Hashtag
just
goblin on
not
goblin.
go there.
All right.
But that's me
All right.
because of all these bad jokes.
Uh,
But Kaine is gonna try to kind of loop around to kind of go see what's going on. So it's sneaky the best I can, hopefully.
sure. Yeah. Move yourself to where you want to go, and if you're being sneaky about it, make me a stealth roll.
Yeah. $16.
Perfect. You get there pretty easily. The next thing I'm going to have you do is actually make me a perception roll as well.
Yes, I better do that.
I mean, realistically, there's not like true failures or anything in that. It is just depending on how much I was going to give you. But you see essentially what I explained before, but not exactly what I explained before. You see the goblins attacking each other, and actually one of the goblins that was in there is now on the ground dead. And this one, there's a goblin body here, and then next to it here, there's a goblin with like a bloodied sword going, "Oh, for the mighty Yemek." And it's in Goblin too. They're talking Goblin to each other. While, the other goblins are like, "Oh no. Hello TPK Roleplay. How are you? I hope everything was good with your show.
Hi, friend.
We have a revolution."
Viva la resistance, but
Viva
also
la-
hashtag goblin on goblin.
Goblin on goblin action. Hashtag
see it.
hashtag glamp juice. Hashtag so many hashtags tonight.
Glamp juice.
So you see a bunch of like goblin fighting happening over there, and they're busy attacking each other. You snuck over there, nobody notices you or anything like that. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
I'll ready my bow for if anyone actually like notices me and looks at me, and then I'll fire.
Perfect. Love it. You're doing a great job sneaking though, so I don't know.
I just can't do anything else apparently.
Next up, we're heading back to inside the cave, and inside here we've got a sort of feeling okay, a lot better than he was before, a human who stands up and here actually give me a second, now that we know that he's kind of okay. This human, he's looks about 50 or so years old. He is pretty fit, right? He has seen some action. He has seen some wartime and all that stuff. He's seen some goblin on goblin action, and he is like war ready. He's looking ragged, but like his muscles are out, and he's ready to fight his way out. And he stands up and he looks towards Ymik, and he's like, "You will not win today." And he's gonna try and throw a punch.
Fisticuffs.
Let's see. What is it usually? I'm just gonna go off fisticuffs. Love it.
Ymik's about to catch these hands that been untied. Unbound, unbroken. Let's go.
All right. So I think I'm just gonna do this. He gets up, but unfortunately he's still like a little weak, and he throws a 1 and throws a 2, but he just kind of doesn't really make purchase with it, or he like just kind of grazes past Ymik, as Ymik's hurt a lot. He's not Vorp hurt yet, but he's hurt, and he is kind of dodging these moves.
Got more than one hit point, gang. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
So none of my cantrips are gonna work on
You're gonna need like 2 cantrips, my guy. We'll get him. We'll get there. We'll get there.
You'll get it. But yeah.
One of these days, I'm gonna roll more than a 1.
I don't know. I just don't know anymore.
All right, Vorp is gonna actually run towards the top of the friends. Whoa, hold on. Rebooting. Vorp is going to run to the top of the steps, and he is going to look at Ymik and say, "You need to stop hurting my friends." And he's going to take another crossbow hit, this time obviously towards the only person left, which is Ymik. Or short bow, I should say. He makes a really good purchase with this bow, as he's just impassioned by his newfound friends, and Ymik he's already got a dagger in his side, and he takes a arrow to the shoulder. He's looking real rough. Still not happy about it, but he's looking rough. Next up is this guy. And Kaine gets to see this. Oof. All right. There's things going on over there. Actually, no, I'll give it, because since you can see this now, Kaine, a goblin comes up and around from that area, moves past his friend, and starts to attack the other one, still yelling the same expletives and things towards this other goblin. And actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm marking them by faction now, since apparently that's a thing I have to do.
If that's not GMing in a sentence, I guess that's a thing I have to do.
Apparently, no, that's a thing I have to do.
So, Kaine, and just a heads up for everybody else, the red dotted ones are loyal to Ymik, and if you see any of the ones with blue dots, those are the ones that are loyal to Clark. So Kaine, you see that scuffle off to the side there. Nyapith. Let's go.
You know what you know what my tanky girl
Let's
gonna
go.
Let's go.
That's a dirty 20
Pith.
for 12 piercing damage with the Morning Star. Is
Finish
he
it.
still? Oh,
Finish
hell
it,
yeah.
Nyapith.
Finish him.
Yeah, Nyapith is going to, as Vorp, fires the crossbow bolt about his friends, Nyapith is going to regrip the Morning Star in her hand and goes, see that, Mimic? That's how you lead. And she's just going to bring it down on top of his head and just crush him beneath it. But then I am going to bonus action do the thing that fighters can do where they can heal themselves, second wind, because I'm hurt.
Yeah. that was a bit rough.
Nice.
So yeah. Yeah,
That's
second
good.
wind is a
Awesome.
that's a really good. I didn't realize it was the
That's-
fighter one. For some reason I thought it was the rogue one, but
Yeah, no, second wind's great. So like it's almost
That's
as
amazing.
she brings it down, like it just the adrenaline in her body like surges, and you watch as she kind of stands up a little bit straighter. She was a little woozy on her feet, but she's feeling okay now.
awesome. That's a great feat. I like it. Or not a feat, but a feature.
Yeah, a feature. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's choice.
It comes in clutch sometimes, especially in these levels, because 8 hit points is like a lot. So the situation as it stands is we've got a couple dead goblins, and Yimik is no more, and this human is standing there. Still gonna keep things in turn order right now, but we're just gonna kind of mix it up a little bit. So next up is Trij.
Yeah. So because that was combat, that took approximately 3 minutes. Not even. So I'm still at like.
This is like at the top of the third round, so this is the third minute.
Okay. So we're still at about the halfway point of me having my stuff.
Yeah, you're coming on the last half of it, like into maybe the last quarter, but yes, you've still got.
So guys, do we want to go and get this Clark guy? What does everybody want to do?
First, I want to congratulate Vorp on his excellent teamwork. That's
Vorp,
truly
you're awesome.
That's really great, Vorp. Thank you.
Right.
I'm really proud of you.
I really feel like I'm one of the gang now.
Yeah.
I never really liked Yimik anyway. He was kind of mean, but
No, he was an asshole, and I'm sorry for
Seems
the
like a
language.
I gotta tell you though, that was a clean shot.
thanks. I feeling a little better, so I was able to kind of line it up right there.
Listen,
I was. You had a good dagger throw there too. That was good. I like that. Came out of nowhere.
to answer your question, Trij, I think we found our person that we're looking for, right? And the map that we're here looking for, I don't think is here. So we might be able to leave, unless Vorp wants to seize this moment of chaos to become king of the goblins himself. I have no interest in staying. Better to live to fight another day and let them sort it out amongst themselves. But I'm happy. I'm happy to follow whatever we decide.
Yeah, I mean, but we have to. Where's Kaine? We gotta find Kaine.
There are more of you. That's the human speaking up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No. There's another.
Also, don't freak out. I'm not a goblin.
I figured as much. Thank you for your assistance. That was unexpected, but clever.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're rather rude with spending time with. I don't know. My name's Nyapith. Are you? Are you one? Were you traveling with Gundren Rockseeker by chance?
Gundren, yes. Oh no. Oh, I must get to Phandelver soon. Yes, sorry. I am Sildar Hallwinter. Sildar Hallwinter. The name's been up there the whole time. But to confirm, I'm not gonna. Yeah, the name disappears, and it's actually the big bad guy. Ooh, that'd be clever. Gonna write that down. Make that secret.
Oh, no.
Yes. He introduced himself as Sildar Hallwinter. Yes, Sildar Hallwinter of the Lord's Alliance. I was accompanying Gundren towards Phandelver, and we were stupidly ambushed. And I'm... Oh, that means you... I'm
Yes,
so sorry.
Oh no, it's fine. You know, unexpected twists and turns are a part of adventuring, right? I hear it's about the journey, not necessarily the destination.
Well, I must apologize because this was our doing. I believe Gundren may not have been completely honest with you. We were expecting an ambush along the trail, and his intention was that we could sneak ahead and get by them, and you all would have been the ones to be ambushed. But it appears that we are both fools on the road, but well, I can see he was good for hiring you. You have all done much better than we fared.
Oh, well, you kind of have egg on your face now, though, telling us.
Well,
that
that
last
wasn't my plan. Gundren is sometimes foolish in his endeavors, but there's no time to waste now. I need to get to Phandelver as quickly as possible.
So he hired us to set us up, but why?
Not a setup per se. You were just supposed to be the distraction. You see, we had some important information with us, and we were taking it to Phandelver, and we had assumed that if we had a different caravan in place, they would leave the two riders alone, go for, the carriage with more materials, more things to it, much more of a prize to take home. But now it seems like they're just looking out for anybody that crosses the trail. And yes.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a bit of a power struggle happening with this group. Things a little escalated. She gestures down to Yemek's crushed corpse. People getting a little bit some prove themselves energy going on.
Indeed.
So my understanding is that if we've got you, is there anything that you need to retrieve from this place, or can we skedaddle? Because it sounds like the map that was in a case we found, it's Gonorowski.
Yes. I have heard through the various discussions, as clearly as I could make out, Clark, the person in charge here, had orders to keep us from getting to Phandelver. I heard that the Black Spider had requested Gundren's presence, and they didn't care what they did with me. They just wanted Gundren. And the map.
I'm sorry. You said the Black Spider?
Yes. Not quite sure who or what they are, but they are someone with a nefarious influence rising in this area. I'm fairly certain I heard that the goblins and Clark were talking about sending Gundren and the map to Cragmaw Castle. I don't know where it is. Someone in Phandelver or around the area might know. Maybe even someone here might know where the castle is.
Nyapith is going to turn back and look at Vorp. You know where this castle is, sweetie?
Remember the time that I didn't even know my way around here? I'm sorry.
Because you don't know something. It's all right. It's all right. Just because you don't know something once doesn't mean you don't know nothing for the rest of your life. It's fine.
That's true, but no, I don't know anything about it. I know that there is a castle, but I've never been there.
What do you think? What do you think, gang? We gotta find Kaine, but I don't see any reason for us to stick around.
Yeah. Let's get Kaine and then maybe like go outside and regroup or something.
I like that idea.
I'll catch up with y'all. I'm going to pull my dagger out of the wall and out of this corpse.
Okay, yeah. I'll let you guys have a turn with getting all that stuff back. And actually, yeah.
Can I loot the corpse if there's anything?
You can check the corpses, yeah, if you want. You can make an investigation check.
Can I check it?
Yeah, make an investigation check. Sildar, though, is going to grab Ymic's, one of Ymic's scimitars as a weapon.
Investigation check.
There's a little bit of like, wait, which one are you investigating?
Oh, Ymmic.
You're investigating Ymmic? Okay. Yeah, he's had. You can see that you've got like your dagger back, and he's got an arrow through him, and he has a one more scimitar, but you're kind of focused on the weapons. You can't really see much else that's on.
Got it.
What game did you say that that they were playing when we came in?
Go fish.
Oh, great. I'm just gonna like take the playing cards and whatever other stuff they have, like in their little powwow area.
Around this whole area here.
Yeah.
All right, give me a second.
Do I also need to make an investigation?
You find all 52.
That's all in there. Yeah. Make an investigation.
The tan.
Yeah, you've got the playing cards are around there. You find, because everybody got riled up and kind of that, you know, a big thing, they were making bets on some stuff, but when they all did their thing, they like threw the cards down, everything like that, but everything else got scattered. You managed to find like 3 pieces of silver lying around that they were betting on. not much else other than extra like equipment that they would use, but it's nothing like fancy, or the way you're looking at it, it's nothing better or worse than what you already got. It's just kind of blah. Give me one more second here, because I want to get back to Kaine, because Kaine... Oh, I don't need to do that. Oh, but that was the same one anyway. But yeah, okay. As all of that conversation is happening, Kaine, you noticed that in total there were 3 goblins that passed by your field of vision. There's more scuffling. There's kind of a back and forth struggle between a couple of these goblins that you can hear. But the voices of the scuffle and the scuffling are starting to get a little more muffled. They're still loud, there's still a commotion, but it's just a little bit further away than it was before. So you can tell that that next area is probably clear. They've kind of moved on in the cavern. Anything that you'd like to do, Kaine?
Just kind of slowly move my way to the bridge.
To the bridge? Okay. Since we're in a weird in/out of combat thing, I'm still gonna have everyone retain their initiative order, because I'm kind of doing like a weird rule here where there's still combat going on, because you did incite that violence. So that combat is still happening. You don't know the results of that, but there's still combat happening.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Kaine, you can, I will say, like, they're having this discussion that you could have moved past and moved along as much as you'd like if you're going back to that room. As you move past that room, though, the room with the 2 pools, you do notice that there are 3 goblin bodies on the ground. They're not alive. You can't see them because I have removed them, but there are like 3.
I just never saw this part, so I'm just admiring it.
Sure.
And I'm being dumb. I kind of want to move over. I kind of want to just like look down that way to see how far out they are.
Yeah, if you wanna come this way, make another stealth roll for me. I'm telling you, because there's a big commotion in there. The DC is not very high at all.
10.
Yeah, you're kind of keeping quiet, but like there's so much scuffling and fighting and things happening that like nobody's looking that direction. So yeah, as you can, and I'm gonna kind of move this back for stream, as you look inside, because this is an important thing that you can notice, Kaine. As you look inside, there's fighting going on. You can see like at least 3 goblins going at it, and there is a pretty big doggo in there, kind of the same size, maybe a little bit bigger than the wolves that you passed that were sleeping. And far in the corner, I think you can make that out on your screen,
It's that hand thing.
is another glass statuesque figure standing in the corner. Not doing anything, just standing Doing nothing. But yeah, all you see is there's a scuffle happening.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way back to the other side since I noticed that they haven't come around yet. Head towards them.
Okay. All right. Kaine's making his way back. While he's making his way back, you all are doing some looking around and all that stuff. Sildar's going to be kind of looking around the area and doing a search himself, and he's just going to kind of say, they must have taken everything to Cragmaw. My armor, my weapons, everything. They've just stripped us bare. We must get to Phandelver as soon as possible, or we must find where this castle is as soon as possible. I must see Yarno. If he is even still in Phandelver, there's just too much going on.
I'm sorry, see who now?
Yarno. That's Iarno. And he will even say his full name, Yarno Albrek. Albrek. Yarno is, he's a friend. Was supposed to make contact with my group, the Lord's Alliance, some time ago, but there was no word, so I came down to look around and see if he was okay. Please, we must make haste back to Phandelver.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Or are you just going to use this as bait again for something else?
I told you that wasn't my plan. I had nothing to do with that. I met up with Gundren probably the same night that you did. He is just... He's full of this nonsense and this obsession now with the Wave Echo Cave that... I feel like that's what's getting us into all of this trouble now.
How about you tell us about it once we're, you know, just a few more paces away from, you know, the Goblin World War that's happening in here, apparently.
Yes, we can make haste. We can get out. We should meet up with your friend, or do you have a way to communicate with your other friend, or...
We're just gonna have to hope that we can find him on our way out. And if not, I hope you know how to use that thing, because if we weren't leaving you behind, we're definitely not leaving Kaine behind.
Oh, don't worry. I am not well equipped, but I can take care of myself.
Vorp, sweetie, come here.
Not yet.
Listen, I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
You were telling us that Clog is the best boss that you ever had. Do you want to stay and work for Clog and maybe try to influence them for better, or do you want to come with us?
Oh, I don't think that's a thing that can actually happen. And if they're already fighting over there, I mean, let's just say things have gotten complicated here. So
Absolutely,
I'll hang out with
listen,
you guys for a little bit, maybe.
Okay, I'm just saying you could use this for your benefit. You go in there and tell Clog that you discovered that Ymik had this plan to overthrow him, and you came up with this clever ruse, right? And you know, depending on, or if Clog loses, then you can just skedaddle. But I'm more than happy to keep you with us, honey. I just wanted to make sure that you were able to follow your dreams.
I'm in no condition to even attempt to be next to him.
Okay.
I'll head out.
Yeah, you can come with us. That's fine. That's fine. I'm rather fond of you now. You saved, honestly, there, Vorp, you saved my life. So.
Oh, well, thank you.
I want you to know that.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's get what we can get our grubby paws on, and let's get skedaddle. Go find Kaine.
All right. Yeah. Is there anything else that you guys are doing in this room?
Is this just a fire? The green.
That's a bonfire.
Like,
yeah.
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
bonfire there.
Great.
So it's not a.
Yeah.
No, not a big portal or anything else like that. It's just fire. It's
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna walk over to the throne
Mhm.
and see if there's anything around the throne.
All right. Yeah.
Is that another investigation?
Make another investigation since you're very specifically looking at that.
Oh, that is a 21. There's nothing around the throne. You are
It's-
absolutely certain there's nothing.
It's very, it's very shoddy workmanship. As you're kind of, moving things around and stuff like that, you see like sort of inside, because it is just like a chair that just was tried to be made look fancy. Sort of in the bottom below the chair and everything like that, you'll reach down and there's like a little pouch that you feel around there. And you open up this pouch and there are 3 gold teeth. The gold teeth, just as a heads up, are worth 1 gold piece each.
Right.
And you also find 15 silver. And just because you rolled a 21, there's also another piece of paper down there. And as you like open up the piece of paper, it's a very, very crudely drawn note. And oh, you probably, I don't think that's gonna no, that's not gonna show up. I'll put it over here. It's a crudely drawn note, and the image that's on it is just like this little like a little sad face, and it's got like stink lines coming from it, and it is like Clark Stinky, and that's like, yeah, that's what it says. I'm gonna get rid of that now because it's not important. I just wanted to give you a little bit extra there for that 21.
Nice. Nice. Cool.
Oops. Anything else?
I'm
Have I
good.
catched up with him yet?
Yeah, by this time you can catch up. Actually, the way I was going to imagine it is y'all, as they were leaving, as they were going, you were coming there, and you guys meet up in the hallway. And you can have a quick little scene there to catch everybody up if you want, or I think everybody's mostly in agreement to dip. So
we can say we caught up for the sake of
yeah.
actual time. 2 things before we leave, though.
Mhm.
1, we do have that other goblin tied up that we can take with us for questioning, so we can still get our answers. 2, that other room has another one of those statue things in there, and I don't know how much you care about those, but that's where they're all fighting. So if we wanted to investigate more and find out more, that's where we'd have to go. It's up to you guys. We have two options. They're both gotta get us information. Looks like you guys kind of did a lot over here already.
Yeah, I think for my intents and purposes, I'm thoroughly settled. I don't know what those statue things are. I don't know if it really matters to us at all. It sounds like we got to get to Phandelver real quick. And whatever's happening here can probably sort itself out neatly.
Right.
Anything that we needed has been absconded with to a Cragmaw castle. But we don't know where that is.
Well, that's where we probably could find out. over
Yeah.
there.
Hey,
That's
hey,
what
Vorp.
I'm
Hey, Vorp. Do you think any of your buddies might know where Cragmaw Castle is? Maybe Clark? Would he know?
Clark would definitely know, yeah, and maybe some of his cronies, but like, yeah, otherwise, yeah, some of them might be like me, you know.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with that, Kaine. I am beat, and she's gonna look over at like Trij, who I'm assuming is starting to like lose a little bit of like spring in his step, and say, and I happen to know that our handsome man here is starting to get tired too. So my concern is that if we continue to push forward into this cavern, we're not going to be able to have enough energy to get out. And I am definitely a fan of living to fight another day.
Well,
Yeah.
again, two things. It's just the one room I'm talking about. Two, they're actually murdering each other as we speak. So it's got to be kind of more like a cleanup, if anything.
We're lucky.
On top of, looks like we have a fairly decent amount of range. I don't know if there's any extra bows laying around because we didn't grab them beforehand, but you just literally firing a line to that room and pick them off. I'm just saying these are options if we want guaranteed answers. The rest of them is relying on the sleeping guy, hoping he's on the right side, or we have to go and just hope we find someone in some town.
Yeah, so based on what I've seen so far, I don't think this Clark guy is gonna want to tell us like anything, but also Nyapith is right, and a nap or just like sitting for a little while would be really cool. So I'd be chill with just like leaving.
That's fine if that's what you guys want to do.
Wranran, I would love to have your opinion here, but Sildar, is how important is it that we know where this Cragmaw castle is? If we can find out that information, I mean, you're the one that seems to be all interested in this. Technically, you're still our employer.
Oh, anybody here might be able to know the answer, but if we can get to Phandelver, anything we can find out in Phandelver, it might just take some more time.
Okay. I would rather risk that.
Do we have the time? Is the actually more important question.
I mean, we'll be more well rested.
Well, it's a matter of, is our employer still going to be alive to pay us if we take that extra time to look for the answer there?
Sure, but if we can't make it out of this cave alive, it doesn't really matter that much either. I'd rather get us some rest and then try again. If we miss out, we miss out, but at least then we're still alive.
I think getting to Phandelver might be the best choice for us to get answers because, like, we tried interrogating the goblin and we didn't get too much information besides.
What are you talking about? We got Vorp who led us here, and we've successfully started a rebellion. So you can't really use that as your example because I think that went fairly well.
We're already ripping and roaring to do that. I don't think they're gonna be too excited to tell us all their secrets. They were looking for a reason to stab each other. They didn't. There's some bad blood there. I'm pretty sure I saw one of them cheating at cards. So I definitely heard him asking if he had any threes, and that little bugger lied right through his teeth, right through his pointy little teeth.
So we're good then. What about our sleeping goblin? Just
I
wanna
think we
leave
can
him, or do you
probably
wanna
just
take a
leave
chance?
him. Borp, does that goblin mean anything to you, the sleepy one?
No, not really.
Okay. I have no
You
interest in this
recognize him
goblin
at
then.
all?
Do you even know his name?
Nah, we had orientation together, but yeah,
The thing is, where his allegiance lies is the question. Because you guys are just saying anyone that was loyal to him would know more information,
He'll probably,
right?
depending on how this war goes, he'll switch sides.
It's the matter, are we leaving information behind for no good reason besides the fact that someone just doesn't want to drag an extra body around for a little while?
I mean, you're more than welcome to drag that body around if you'd like to, Kaine.
I'm just saying.
It's a
Well-
free-for-all.
And what happens if he doesn't know any information?
Then we just leave him tied to a tree and he can fend for himself. Just like we're gonna do with Vorp, but I mean, Vorp
We're
turned out
not going to
pretty
do
good.
that with Vorp.
That was the original.
Vorp's my
Never mind.
friend.
I mean, yeah, that was the original friend, but you know,
Well,
you
but
are
you
you
showed
all are very
initiative
convincing. Yeah, you.
and a change of heart.
I mean, we'll go with what you guys want. I'm not gonna push anyone.
Sounds like
That's
we're
what-
ready to go. Wandering,
As
you ready?
As much as I don't trust Sildar, like I think our best bet is going to Phandelver.
Right. And I will say, Sildar, once we get to Phandalin, you will be paying us.
Oh, your payment was all well arranged, but yes, if there's anything else I can do to be of assistance, we must make haste. And
We'll get you to Phandalin.
But, like, that's the first thing that needs to happen when we get there. Like, very first thing is we get the money.
yes, of course, rest and payment and all of that, but yes, we need to find everyone soon.
Right.
Let's go see if our driver is still hanging out with the horses.
All right. So I'm actually, because I just realized that there's some battle music going. But I also just realized that also because we're going to fast forward a little bit here. You all I'm actually, well, wait, I need, because I need to copy all of these NPCs now. So yes, we're gonna copy. I think Vorp is already
Yeah, we started Goblin War 3.
there. Yeah, you guys are already here. So we're gonna flip, 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 flip. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now the 4 have become 6. This is how we're going to finish this up here. You all, as you exit Cragmaw Cave, see a few different things, because while you were having that discussion, there was a lot of other things happening. There seemed to be signs of a battle. You all saw like the 3, now as you cross the bridge and over, you saw the 3 dead goblins. As you walked around and towards the exit, there was 2 more dead goblins. Two of them that you would have recognized as being part of Yemik's crew. And the wolves were no longer there. You remember those 3 sleeping wolves? They're not sleeping, they were gone. And one of them, though, was dead next to the 2 deceased goblins on your way out. You make your way out, and the 2 glass figures were no longer there.
Huh, that's weird.
Yeah, sure. Weird.
You all emerge from the cave and make your way down, and you find your familiar path all the way down towards the opening, towards the clearing. Sitting back, just kind of smoking a corncob pipe with the horses and the carriage still there is the driver. Just gazing off. He's got like a little butterfly on his finger and it floats away. And he looks up and notices now that you have an extra person and still have a goblin with you. And he just looks up and goes, huh. See, you guys were pretty successful there, huh?
Yup.
Oh,
Yo, you leave this shit.
good. Wow, good job. Well, it's gonna be a tight squeeze, but I think I can fit you all into the carriage here. What's all we're all going to Phandelver then?
Yep.
Yes,
Oh, wait, we
please.
need to move there quick. If we wouldn't mind. Vorp, we're gonna mind your P's and Q's, all right?
Won't hear a lick out of me. I'll be on my best behavior.
All right. I appreciate that, sweetheart.
We might have troubles in the city with him, but it's fine.
We'll sort it out when we get there.
Yeah.
Nyapith is gonna climb up in the back of the cart and kind of nestle herself in a corner, and she's like kind of sitting up. Saying, Trij, you ready to take a nap? I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Yes,
All right.
please.
All right. Come over here. All right. I gotta make some room for you. You can just snuggle down. Yeah, that's right.
Snuggle in.
Yeah. Yeah, well, 100%. Just like whole little trash like under her arm in the back of the cart and just like immediately like
Well,
Pass out.
boy, you know what though? I really wish that it was that simple.
Oh no.
No.
Oh no.
We're about to wrap up here, but as you all make your way into the caravan, from behind you, from back on the road, you hear this absolutely guttural scream from a hooded figure. You all turn around and look, and you can barely make out what this person looks like. Actually, just for fun, let's have one more roll tonight. Everybody make a perception check.
That is an 18 from Trij. Nice.
The 21.
Nice.
Wow, I love these dice rolls, especially at the end, because again, I could not
That's
have
accurate.
I could not have asked for better rolls. The hooded figure kind of whips out his arms from under his cloak. Nyapith, the only reason why this is kind of strange is because it's like, wait a minute, that's kind of weird. But everyone else sees this person as he whips out his arms. His hands, his arms are human. They have all the digits attached, but there are scales that seem to be jutting out from his skin. Unnaturally so. He screams and he looks up and he shoots glances at each and every one of you as trying to like look and identify, and then he looks right at you, Kaine, and he screams, Kaine! I finally found you. And that's where we're gonna end.
What?
Kaine, this person looks really familiar to you.
Okay.
Nice.
Yikes.
Jeez.
Big yikes.
Hey, everybody. Yes, sorry we went a little bit longer, but yeah, that was...
Worth it. Worth it. Worth it.
Who knew that there was going to be a war that you guys started and like finished? Like everybody...
I mean,
I was doing rolls. I've got dice rolls on my stream deck, so I'm doing like rolls. I'm just punching in like numbers and this roll, attack roll, this roll, attack roll, and I'm just like, wow, yeah, they're just straight up murdering each other. So like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened. I'll be nice and give you this. You're not quite sure what happened to Clarg. You didn't get a chance to go into that one last area. But there was commotion, there was a war there, and that all happened. And there's a really interesting thing that's about to happen.
yeah, I'm
But-
afraid.
We'll get to that next time.